Chapter 5166. I'll get the Black Sea Race to keep an eye on it. The Crimson Dragon said. Lin Xian said, that's fine. We'll go back and discuss it. If there's anything that can restore the Tao Heart, we'll spread the news. Next, they began to split up mainly in two directions. First, they had to gather enough resources to activate the apex weapon. Second, they had to find treasures that could restore the Tao Heart. At the same time, they had to keep an eye on the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty. Yi Wudao gave him 5 world cores. Lin Xian accepted them with a bitter smile. Including the ones Yi Wudao had, he didn't have that many worlds. There were only 10 of them in total, and this small amount of worlds was only enough for an extreme-grade weapon to fully awaken once. Thinking about it, he was really poor. Beside him, Bai Susu, Nalan Liang, and the others rolled their eyes. 10 worlds worth of resources, and he was still poor. If word of this got out, the great sages would vomit blood. However, the apex weapon was too extraordinary. The resources it used were too much. It was a completely different realm from the great sage realm. So, 10 worlds really wasn't enough. Bai Susu said, I'll go to my father and see how many world cores I can get. Right? Go to the Patriarch. Also, go to the clans that are allied with us. In any case, they're on your side. Just borrow some resources now. They'll definitely give it to you. Lin Xian nodded. If he became a great emperor, the clans that supported him would receive endless benefits. So, Lin Xian wouldn't be polite to them. In the end, Bai Susu brought back 3 world cores. Lin Xian borrowed 3 from the Savage Wilderness Patriarch. Then, he gave the clans that supported him 2 world stars each. In addition to what Lin Xian had before, he had a total of 30 worlds. It was barely enough. After all, other than the heaven-devouring crown and the great dragon sword soul, he only had enough. He also had Murong Qingqing's desolate tower. So, it was just barely enough. Finally, Murong Qingqing returned with the desolate tower and 10 world stars. A total of 40. Yen Ryu could provide 20 of them. Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief. Finally, it was done. This time, he had to succeed. They had sacrificed too much to kill the Dragon Prince. Therefore, he had to get rid of the other party. The Crimson Dragon had returned from the Dragon Sea, and he had also brought 20 Crimson Dragons from the Dragon Sea. He said that Long Hai was still collecting. If there wasn't enough, he would continue. This time, even if he had to pay the price, he had to kill the other party. Lin Xian was delighted. With Long Hai's full support, their chances of success would increase greatly. Now that the problem of resources had been solved, all that was left was to wait for the right opportunity. While waiting and cultivating, the people outside were gathering information. On this day, Lin Xian frowned. This was because the heaven-devouring jar kept sending out messages that seemed to be calling for him. The sky-swallowing jar swallowed a dragon boat with many people inside. In order to keep his whereabouts a secret, he sealed these people. Now that he had injured the Dragon Prince, he could let these people go. With a flash, Lin Xian left the Divine Union and arrived at the edge of the path. He waved his hand and created a vortex. A dragon boat flew out of the vortex. Lin Xian said, I'll leave the dragon boat behind. You guys can leave. The people on the dragon boat heaved a sigh of relief. Thank you for not killing us, young master. They had been on tenterhooks for the past few days, thinking that Lin Xian would kill them. Now, they could finally leave. Before they left, they said, Don't worry, young master. We won't tell anyone about what happened. Lin Xian didn't care. The Dragon Prince's Tao heart had been broken by him. Why would he care about the dragon boat? Those people left. Lin Xian stared at Fairy Yuing and said, Were you the one who kept sending me voice transmissions? Fairy Yuing was pale and nervous. She said, Lin Gongzi, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disturb you. It's just that I really have something urgent and can't delay any longer. You said it's a family matter, right? Go ahead. Lin Xian nodded and didn't think too much about it. Fairy Ewing said, "Where's this place? Can you give me a map?" "Is Mount Eternal far away?" Lin Xian was surprised. "You want to go to Mount Eternal? That's a place of death. Can you enter?" Fairy Ewing said, "I naturally don't dare to go to the 3 mountains of Mount Eternal. I want to go to Mount Eternal. There's a place around it called the Graveyard of Stars. It's also very magical there. This time, I'm going there to get some spiritual herbs." "The Graveyard of Stars?" Lin Xian was surprised. Why haven't I heard of it? He had been to the area of Mount Eternal before, but he had never heard of such a place before. Fairy Ewing asked, "Does young master have a map?" Lin Xian waved his hand and took out a map of Mount Eternal and gave it to her. Fairy Ewing was delighted after seeing it. "Yes, it's here." She pointed at a place. "This is the Graveyard of Stars?" Lin Xian was even more puzzled after seeing it. "Isn't this Mount Eternal?" "It's considered a place in Mount Eternal, but it's not that scary. It won't take people's lives, but it's still very mysterious. According to our family's records, the Graveyard of Stars was formed by a star that fell from outer space. It just landed at the edge of Mount Eternal, so it formed such a strange terrain. After entering, one will fall into a deep sleep if there's danger. Then one will be teleported out the next day. There's such a magical place. What treasures are there in the Graveyard of Stars? Some precious spiritual herbs, but there's a rumor." Fairy Ewing thought for a moment and said, "This is an ancient rumor in our family. The Graveyard of Stars. It's said that when a great emperor died, his bones fell from outer space and formed a strange place. This is also the reason why the power of Mount Eternal can't enter the Graveyard of Stars. It's even said that the Graveyard of Stars has the will of the earth. There's even a rumor that the aura of this great emperor after his death combined with the power of Mount Eternal to form a kind of fruit. Graveyard of Stars divine fruit. It's said that it can cure all injuries in the world. It's even said that it can cure injuries of the great Tao." Lin Xian was even more shocked after hearing this. If the divine fruit can cure injuries of the great Tao, can it cure a broken Tao heart? Fairy, you said, it should be able to. Anyway, as long as you're not dead, any injury can be cured. Of course, this is just a legend, and we don't know. We're only going to the safer places in the Graveyard of Stars this time. As for the deeper places, we don't dare to go. I'll give this map to you. Thank you. Lin Xian laughed and turned to leave. Fairy was stunned. Thank me for what? She was baffled. However, she shook her head, picked up the map, and quickly left. Lin Xian was incomparably happy. Although he didn't know if this legend was true, this news was definitely a life-saving straw for the 10,000 Dragons dynasty. It seems that the Graveyard of Stars is the place where the Dragon Prince fell. Sharp killing intent burst out from his eyes. Chapter 5167. Lin Xian returned and told Yan Ryu and the others about this matter. They were overjoyed when they heard this. Great, they would spread this news to the 10,000 Dragon dynasty. Next, we can set up the plan. Should we go there first and set up the array formation in advance? The Crimson Dragon asked. Lin Xian shook his head when he heard that. No, it was said that the Graveyard of Stars was also related to the Great Emperor. Don't set up the array formation there rashly. Moreover, the 4 of us will be enough to kill the Dragon Prince. Ruzalong, take the people of the Black Sea Dragon race and lie in ambush outside the Graveyard of Stars. If the people of the 10,000 Dragon dynasty come, you must stop them. All right, I understand. The Crimson Dragon nodded. Then Lin Xian looked at Yi Wudao. He said, Wudao, you don't have to go to kill the Dragon Prince. Wait in the ancient city. Once we succeed, quickly inform our allies. Tell them to close the mountain gate and avoid danger. Don't worry, leave this matter to me. Yi Wudao nodded. This matter was also very important. If the Dragon Prince really died, the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty would go crazy. Who knew what the other party would do? Therefore, it was better to prepare in advance. Next was to release the news. The 10,000 Dragon Dynasty had been searching. However, they didn't have any news. This made the people of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty very anxious. However, on this day, a piece of news came. The Graveyard of Stars. What was this place? Some people of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty were puzzled. However, the eyes of the patriarchs lit up. Around Mount Eternal. Ordinary people would think of it as a region of Mount Eternal. However, it had another name, the Graveyard of Stars. The patriarch sent news that there was a meteorite divine fruit in the nebula. If it could cure all injuries, would it be proud of its Tao heart? The patriarch of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty said. The name sounded very mysterious. Even if there is a glimmer of hope, we can't miss it. Hurry up and send people over. Take the meteorite divine fruit. However, that person said that according to the information we found, the divine fruit can't leave the Graveyard of Stars. Otherwise, it will immediately turn to ashes. Therefore, if we want to obtain this thing, the Dragon Prince has to go personally. As soon as he said this, the Dragon clan's ancestor frowned. An elder said, it couldn't be a trap, right? They would lure the Dragon Prince out and then attack him. The others were also discussing spiritedly. The patriarch of the dragon race snorted coldly. So what if it was a trap? This time, we've mobilized a powerful force and an extreme weapon. Even if there are traps, what can they do to us? At that time, he could even kill the enemy. That's right, the others also nodded. Their dragon clan feared nothing. Hurry up and get ready. The old ancestor of the dragon race gave the order. The entire 10,000 Dragon Dynasty quickly moved. They brought enough resources and a large number of powerhouses. Even the Dragon clan's great ancestor had to go there personally. In addition to him, 2 other progenitors were heading there too. The 3 old ancestors, the extreme grade weapon, and the other saints. They didn't believe that there was any power that could defeat them. Even if Lin Xian had set up a trap, they were still not afraid. No matter how strong Lin Xian was, wasn't he just a heaven-swallowing jar? They could definitely contend against the other party. As long as the Dragon Prince's Tao heart was restored, they would have hope. Mount Eternal, the Graveyard of Stars. It was very quiet here. On this day, a few figures flew over quickly and landed. They were the people of the Moon Shadow clan. They had arrived outside the Graveyard of Stars. Their expressions became incomparably solemn. Although this place was magical and wouldn't fall under normal circumstances, they still had to be careful. Yu Xianzi reminded them. The others nodded. Their figures seemed to have turned into shadows and floated in. This time, they only searched for some spiritual herbs at the outermost area of the Graveyard of Stars. As for the inside, they didn't dare to enter at all. Princess, that's great. We've already collected half of the spiritual herbs we need. I estimate that we'll be able to collect all of them in another 2 days. An expert of the Moon Shadow clan said. Yu Xianzi also smiled after hearing that. Although this time they had finally completed the clan's mission, everyone rest. The group of people sat down and began to rest. However, at this moment, the void in the distance shattered, and an incomparably vast amount of information rushed over. What was going on? In the Graveyard of Stars, the people of the Moon Shadow clan suddenly raised their heads to look at the sky. Their expressions became frightened. Not to mention them, the nearby families and sects also raised their heads in fear. In the next moment, they saw a huge dragon flying over in the sky. It was too long, tens of thousands of miles long. It swept across the world. The void kept shattering. All the demonic beasts below prostrated on the ground. Even the saints were facing a great enemy. At this moment, they couldn't help but want to kneel down. How terrifying! It was the people of the 10,000 Dragon Court. In this area, the people of the Fire God Palace, and the Hall of Longevity were also facing a great enemy. One by one, the Grand Elders looked into the distance. It's not an ordinary dragon. I can feel the power of a peak great sage. This is the peerless powerhouse of the 10,000 Dragon Court. What are they going to do? These sects were facing a great enemy. After all, the Dragon Prince was injured. Who knew what the nest of 10,000 dragons was going to do? The last time the Dragon Prince was injured, the spirit realm was directly destroyed. This time, was the 10,000 Dragon Court going to make a move again? Could it be that they were going for Mount Eternal? A Grand Elder of the Hall of Longevity frowned. The expressions of the others also changed. Mount Eternal, the forbidden land of death. Even a top great sage wouldn't dare to enter rashly. However, the 10,000 Dragon Court was an emperor clan and had an extreme weapon. This time, for the sake of the Dragon Prince, they might really have to risk their lives to enter Mount Eternal. Should we go and take a look? Someone suggested. However, those elders said that no one was allowed to go and that they would seal the mountain gate. If an extreme weapon attacked with full strength, countless people would be turned into ashes. They didn't dare to. The Hall Master of the Hall of Longevity felt that it was inappropriate to seal the mountain gate, so he sent a group of elders and talented disciples away. After the 10,000 Dragon Court left, it wouldn't be too late to let them come back. It wasn't just the Hall of Longevity. The other families and sects were the same. For a moment, this area was terrifyingly quiet. In the Graveyard of Stars, Yu Ying and the others were so scared that they knelt on the ground. There was a godlike will on it that made them unable to resist. What kind of existence was this? In the next moment, they saw countless figures standing on the giant dragon. The giant dragon arrived above the nebula. It was the people of the dragon race. The people of the Moon Shadow clan felt their scalps go numb. They knew that it was most likely the 10,000 Dragon Court. That's right, it was the people of the 10,000 Dragon Court. At the front were 3 peak great sages, and there were many other great sages around them. In the middle, there was a throne. Sitting on the throne was a young man. His face was pale and filled with pain. It was the Dragon Prince. Chapter 5168. Prince, don't worry. We've already arrived at the Graveyard of Stars. Once we obtain the divine fruit, your Tao heart will recover. Lin Xian, I won't let him off. The Dragon Prince's eyes were filled with killing intent. Then he coughed up 2 more mouthfuls of blood. The expressions of the others changed drastically. Quickly, they took out their medicinal pills. They were so anxious that their foreheads were covered in sweat. There were a few ants below. Should they ask them? A dragon race powerhouse lowered his head and looked down. In front of them, an ancestor said, there was no need. What did they know? There was no need to pay attention to them. They really didn't have the mood to pay attention to a few ants. These people majestically set off towards the depths of the spiritual land. Yu Ying and the others were still nervous. If the people above wanted to kill them, they could do it with a single glance. Fortunately, they were ignored, which made them heave a sigh of relief. At the same time, they felt a trace of sorrow in their hearts. They were also the genius powerhouses of a large family. However, in front of such a lineup, they were really like air. They had to leave quickly. Yu Xianzi led the others and quickly left the Graveyard of Stars. Although they hadn't finished collecting the spiritual herbs, they didn't dare to come again. Endless starlight flickered in the Graveyard of Stars. Legend had it that this was a strange place formed by the descent of the stars in outer space. It contained a mysterious power that blocked the aura of Mount Eternal, forming a unique area. Even so, the people of the 10,000 Dragon Court didn't dare to be careless. The 3 ancestors looked into the distance as if they could see through heaven and earth. However, their gazes were blocked by the starlight in front of them. They couldn't see through it. They frowned slightly. It didn't matter. One of the ancestors said coldly they had found the graveyard of stars. Even if they had to turn the place upside down, they had to find the fallen star divine medicine. Outside the graveyard of stars, the Crimson Dragon led the powerhouses of the Xian Ocean Clan to guard the various passageways they had already entered. A great battle would probably break out soon. Our mission is to intercept the other reinforcements of the 10,000 Dragon Court. Let's wait for the signal. The Crimson Dragon and the others were here, but the ancestor and patriarch of the Xian Ocean Clan were with Lin Xian and the others. They were going to attack the 10,000 Dragon Court together. In the Graveyard of Stars, the people of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty started a crazy search. They didn't let go of any place. In fact, some of the more dangerous places were also opened up by the patriarchs, sweeping through everything. However, at that moment, a sneer was heard. "Stop looking, you won't be able to find it." Hearing this, the people from the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty stopped, and their expressions changed. Damn it, it was a trap. Protect the prince. Those elders roared crazily. These people no longer searched, but instead quickly returned. They circled around the Dragon Prince. The three peak great saints also roared furiously and broke through the void. "Who was it? Get out here. You actually dared to set up a trap to harm our 10,000 Dragon Dynasty. You must be tired of living. It's me." Lin Xian also shattered the void and stood above the 9 heavens. "Martial Dragon, do you still want to recover your Dao heart? That's impossible. I won't give you the chance. Damn brat, it's you." The Dragon Prince stood up with a murderous look in his eyes. He was so angry that his whole body trembled, and he vomited blood. "Lin Wuyi, do you want to die?" The Dragon Race elders also roared crazily. The three patriarchs pierced through heaven and earth. "You're that Lin Wuyi? How dare you behave so atrociously here? Die." One of the patriarchs suddenly reached out a huge hand, and a monstrous dragon claw covered the sky and earth. That was the power of a peak great saint. It was terrifying to the extreme. Lin Xian's pupils constricted. With his own strength, he naturally couldn't resist. Was that the peak of a great saint? As expected, he was strong enough. Who knew when he would be able to reach this step? Although the power was terrifying, Lin Xian didn't retreat at all. This time, he didn't come alone. As expected, the void behind him split open, and a resplendent light appeared. Another dragon claw covered the sky and earth, and collided with the dragon claw in front of him. The two collided, and the sound of the great Tao erupted and swept through the 9 heavens. "Don't you think it's too embarrassing for a patriarch to attack a young genius?" A cold snort came from behind Lin Xian. Then another Dragon Race expert appeared. His aura was monstrous, and he was also a peak great saint. "It's you, Black Sea Dragon Race. How dare you go against the 10,000 Dragon Court? Do you want to be wiped out?" The people of the 10,000 Dragon Court went crazy. Although they were all dragons, the 10,000 Dragon Court had a great emperor who commanded the dragons. The Black Sea Dragon Race was their subordinate. Now the other party dared to attack them. "So what if we attack you?" The Black Sea Dragon Race patriarch walked out. When the Dragon Prince killed Long Guang, did he think of this scene? Today, a debt of blood must be paid with blood. The Black Sea Dragon Race experts appeared. They suppressed heaven and earth. The expressions of the people of the 10,000 Dragon Court changed. Then they laughed coldly. "Lin Xian, is this your trump card? Do you think you can kill us with the Black Sea Dragon Race and your sky-devouring crown? Too naive." The patriarchs of the 10,000 Dragon Court shouted coldly. They waved their arms, and the 10,000 dragon picture appeared in the sky. An extremely terrifying extreme Tao aura swept in all directions. Facing Lin Xian and the others, the 10,000 Dragon Court seemed to want to kill them in one strike. Therefore, they used an extreme Dao weapon right from the start. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He also appeared on his side. The sky-devouring jar floated between heaven and earth. An endless black hole devoured the extreme Dao power. The weapons confronted each other. However, the sky-devouring jar seemed to be gradually suppressed. It was useless. Half an extreme Dao weapon seemed to be no different in the hands of a young man. But in a true peerless battle, you would be completely suppressed. Today is the day you die. The three patriarchs of the 10,000 Dragon Court attacked together. The 10,000 Dragon picture released the extreme Dao power, and countless dragon shadows pressed down. The sky-devouring jar was gradually suppressed. Ha ha! What do you have to fight us? The people of the 10,000 Dragon Court laughed smugly. After killing you, the sky-devouring jar will be ours. The Dragon Prince's eyes shone with a terrifying light. Not only do I want the sky-devouring jar, but I also want his life. I want all of his secret techniques. Buzz. He let out a terrifying dragon roar. A dragon roar also came from Lin Xian's body. Then, sword energy surged into the sky and blocked the thousands of dragon shadows. A dragon-shaped sword energy appeared in front of him, releasing a terrifying aura. This caused the expressions of the people of the 10,000 Dragon Court to change because the aura of this dragon shadow was too terrifying. The great dragon sword. Their eyes shone with a terrifying light. Humph! This belongs to the 10,000 Dragon Court. It belongs to the Dragon Prince. You don't deserve to have it. How dare you say such words? Lin Xian was cold. Behind him, the powerhouses of the Black Sea's dragon race provided power. The great dragon sword soul erupted and slashed through heaven and earth. The 10,000 dragon picture stopped descending. It was blocked. Damn it! The great dragon sword and half of the sky-devouring crown. Is this your final trump card? But it can't do anything to us. At most, it will be a draw. Besides, do you have enough strength to fully recover? Chapter 5169. The 10,000 Dragon Court wasn't afraid. Even if they couldn't kill the other party, they could still retreat. However, Lin Xian smiled. A draw? You are too naive. Do you think I planned all this just to draw with you? We are here to kill the Dragon Prince, so he will definitely die. Just you? The Dragon Prince trembled in anger. You don't have the right. The 10,000 Dragon Court's old ancestor scoffed coldly. Kid, stop trying to be mysterious. Show me all your trump cards. I want to see how you are going to kill the Dragon Prince today. Lin Xian waved his hand and said loudly, Everyone, come out. Let them see our lineup today. Beside Lin Xian, 3 streaks of space shattered. A monkey holding an iron rod walked over. 7-colored light surrounded Morong Qingcheng. She looked like a fairy descending from the heavens. Her white robe was as white as snow, and her expression was cold as she walked out. They were split up into 3 groups. 3 young people. The 10,000 Dragon Court frowned. An elder said that the monkey was an imperial prince, so the other 2 should be imperial princes too. The 10,000 Dragon Court's old ancestor laughed coldly. You're really stupid. Don't tell me you think that the 3 of them can do anything in this kind of battle? Qingcheng, Ryu, they are underestimating you. Show them some strength. Lin Xian smiled. Yan Ryu scoffed coldly. 10,000 Dragon Court, you shouldn't have destroyed Spirit Realm. You have committed a crime that deserves death. You want to stand up for Spirit Realm? Who are you? A survivor of Spirit Realm? Humph, what a joke. The 10,000 Dragon Court's old ancestor scoffed coldly. Yan Ryu's expression turned cold. I am not from Spirit Realm, but our ancestors received help from Spirit Realm. So this time, I am here to take revenge for Spirit Realm. She formed a hand seal and a green lotus appeared behind her. It swayed gently and shattered the sky. A terrifying extreme Tao aura spread out. The 10,000 dragon courts people were disdainful at first, but when they felt this aura, their expressions changed. They felt a chill down their spines. An elder exclaimed, "Extreme Tao aura!" The three ancestral patriarchs narrowed their eyes. "You're the descendant of Emperor Qing?" With the green lotus behind him and his connection to spirit realm, they immediately thought of a great emperor, Emperor Qing. Back then, spirit realm had indeed helped them. When they had attacked spirit realm, the descendants of Emperor Qing had appeared and saved a group of people. Who would have thought that it would be the woman before him? Their expressions became ugly. If it was just Lin Xian, they wouldn't be worried. The sword in Lin Xian's hand was only the great dragon sword soul. The heaven-devouring jar was also half a 10,000 dragons diagram, and the two added together were equivalent to one. Therefore, they could easily leave. But things were different now. They actually had another extreme weapon. This way, they would be suppressed. Murong Qingcheng also sighed. "Go to hell and repent for your sins." With a wave of her hand, an ancient pagoda appeared and spun between heaven and earth. Similarly, the might of the extreme Tao appeared. This time, the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty's people all went crazy. Another extreme weapon. Damn it, who is this woman? One of the ancestors of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty gritted his teeth. The desolate tower. Damn it, what does this have to do with the jade pool? They all went crazy. To be honest, they never thought that Lin Xian could summon 3 extreme weapons. Even the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty couldn't do it. "Let's go!" The 3 ancestors roared and rushed into the sky with the Dragon Prince and the others. There was no way to fight now. They were absolutely at a disadvantage. "Want to leave?" Lin Xian snorted. "Give me power." The ancestors of the Black Sea Dragon race behind him quickly poured their power into the heaven-devouring jar. Then, the heaven-devouring jar erupted with power, forming an endless vortex that swallowed the world. "Get lost!" The 10,000 Dragon Dynasty roared, and the 10,000 dragons diagram tore apart countless black holes. However, at this moment, a dragon roar sounded, and sword energy slashed over, colliding with the 10,000 dragons diagram. The two collided, shaking heaven and earth. Damn it! The 10,000 dragons diagram was blocked. They fled in another direction. However, they were destined to not be able to escape. This time, they had brought the power to kill. Yen Ryu formed a seal with his palms, and he used several world cores without holding back. The green lotus swayed and turned into thousands of illusory green lotuses that covered the sky and earth, cutting off the mountains and rivers. The desolate tower suppressed the world. The people of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty were completely surrounded. What should they do? Those elders were on the verge of tears. Facing such a situation, there seemed to be no other way. The Dragon Prince's face was pale. Damn it, in order to kill him, the other party didn't set up such an inescapable trap. 3 extreme weapons. This was unimaginable. Lin Wudi, the descendant of the Qing Emperor. Jade Pool. When I recover, I will definitely not let you off. How dare you threaten me? Yen Ryu snorted coldly. Do you think you can still escape? The Dragon Prince's pupils constricted. He roared angrily. Revive the 10,000 dragons diagram with all your strength. Don't worry. They definitely won't be able to hurt you today. The 3 ancestors roared, and an extremely terrifying light erupted from their eyes. Go all out. Revive the 10,000 dragons diagram. The 10,000 dragons diagram bloomed with light and swept across heaven and earth. At this moment, 10,000 dragons roared. Heaven and earth shattered, and the entire power of the fallen stars shook violently. Mount Eternal also erupted with a terrifying, indestructible aura. All the powerhouses and families in the area sensed it. They looked at the sky in the distance with incomparable fear. It erupted. The 10,000 Dragons diagram was fully revived. It seemed that they were going to attack Mount Eternal. The 10,000 Dragon dynasty was really crazy. These families were terrified. When the spirit realm was destroyed, they only felt it from a distant area. They didn't expect that it was going to launch an extreme attack near them. Humph, do you think you're the only one who knows how to fully revive? Yen Ryu snorted coldly. She poured all the world cores she had obtained into the green lotus and fully revived it. With an angry roar, the green lotus bloomed with light and seemed to transform into a human figure wearing a green robe, looking down on the world. It was the Lotus Emperor's illusion. The green lotus swayed like a divine artifact of the celestial world, sweeping across heaven and earth. Countless dragon figures were swept away, and a terrifying and vast aura erupted. Outside, the powerhouses of the families and sects felt the scene, and their pupils constricted. What was going on? A second extreme aura. Heavens, there was an extreme weapon. The 10,000 Dragon dynasty actually brought 2 extreme weapons. Impossible! They were all crazy. The Crimson Dragon was also shocked. They had started fighting. Was the final battle about to begin? In the Graveyard of Stars. It shook violently, and countless stars were destroyed. Fortunately, this place also belonged to Mount Eternal, and it had a terrifying and mysterious aura. Otherwise, this attack would have turned heaven and earth upside down. But even so, the area outside of Mount Eternal had collapsed and turned into dust. It didn't exist in vain. Some small families and sects were instantly reduced to ashes. Those top ancient families and peerless sects had long sealed their mountains and activated peerless arrays. But even so, it still shook their blood and made them spit out large mouthfuls of blood. This was just the aftershock. Just how terrifying was the destructive strike at the center of it all. No wonder spirit realm was reduced to ashes by this attack. Chapter 5170. Actually, it wasn't just them. The entire Alcade continent sensed it. The Purple Mansion, the Yi family, the Gu family, and the other families all looked up at the sky. This was the aura of the 10,000 Dragons diagram, and it had fully recovered. Had the 10,000 Dragons dynasty gone crazy? Where were they going to attack? In the ancient city of Holy Origin, the 3 great orthodoxies also received the news. The patriarchs also came out of seclusion and looked into the distance. They wondered which place was going to suffer. However, at this moment, their expressions changed. No, the second extreme Tao aura had fully recovered and was resisting the 10,000 Dragons diagram. In the next moment, they saw an aurora coming from afar, sweeping across the 9 heavens and 10 lands. The entire Alcade continent was illuminated at this moment, as if thousands of suns had appeared in the world together. All the powerhouses of the families raised their heads at this moment. It was a confrontation between extreme Tao weapons. Someone was fighting against the 10,000 Dragons diagram. Who was it? Everyone went crazy at this moment. Not only the distant light continent, but the ancient jade continent and the other continents also sensed it. For example, the Fire Chelan race, the Phoenix race, and the Heavenly Rock race. Those people were all shocked. The power of an extreme Tao weapon. No, there was a second extreme Tao weapon. Which family was this? They had never sensed it before, especially those from the Emperor race. They were dumbfounded. The powerhouses of the Kuan Peng race looked into the distance worriedly. They then looked at the seclusion ground behind them, hoping that nothing would affect Kuan Peng Z. In the Graveyard of Stars, heaven and earth shattered, turning into an endless black hole. It was blocked. Damn it! The people of the 10,000 Dragons dynasty were terrified and in disbelief. Did the other party also have the ability to fully recover? Damn it! They should have thought of the other party long ago. Since the other party dared to kill them, they must have made ample preparations. After that attack, Yenryu's face was pale, and countless cracks appeared on her body. At this point, she was still unable to fully recover. There were two old men beside her. They looked worried and quickly supported her. They were the protectors of the Azure Thearka's bloodline. The two of them had also helped just now. Otherwise, Yenryu's body would have long been shattered and turned into a bloody mist. Even so, the two protectors were worried about the Shao clan. "I'm fine, but it's really difficult to kill the Thearka's son," Yenryu assessed. The Dragon Prince's face turned pale, and the three ancestors shouted angrily. They didn't believe it. They fled frantically. Yenryu gritted her teeth and looked to the side. "It's up to you." Murong Qingqing nodded, and two illusions appeared behind him. They were the Queen Mother of the West and the Lord of Kunlun. "Qingqing, we will lend you a hand." The two of them used the ancient desolate tower together. The ancient desolate tower erupted with an earth-shattering power as it completely recovered. Boom! At this moment, above the 9 heavens, a pagoda suppressed the entire land. All the living beings on the Yaoguang continent prostrated themselves on the ground. Those peerless experts felt their scalps go numb. It was the aura of the third extreme weapon. Damn it, what the hell happened? At this moment, they were all dumbfounded. Did the 10,000 Dragons Imperial Court carry 3 extreme weapons? No, the collision just now showed that he was going against the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty. Which force was it that was able to find 2 extreme-grade weapons? Was it that Lin Xian? However, they did not sense the power of the heaven-devouring irrigation. The 2 extreme-grade weapons were something they had never felt before. Which 2 great emperor clans were they? The Dragon Prince's face turned green. The 3 ancestors were so angry that they wanted to vomit blood. The ancient desolate tower could be fully recovered? Damn it! The 3 ancestors gritted their teeth and activated the 10,000 Dragons Imperial Court again. It exploded with light again. Their hearts were bleeding. At the same time, the surrounding dragon race powerhouses also turned into blood mist to provide power. The 3 ancestors only had one goal, which was to protect the Dragon Prince. They did not care about the lives of others at all. Boom! The 10,000 Dragons Imperial Court fully recovered for the second time. It collided with the ancient desolate tower. When it collided, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. At that instant, all of the light of Tao in the sky disappeared. The entire Brilliance continent was plunged into darkness, to the point where one could not even see their own fingers. Heavens, will the Yaoguang continent be destroyed? Is this the end of the world? Everyone was terrified at this moment. Those peerless experts also had ugly expressions. The 10,000 Dragons Imperial Court's expression changed drastically. 2 extreme-grade weapons were attacking the 10,000 Dragons Imperial Court. Their Dragon Prince was in danger. Quick, attack at all costs. Countless experts of the 10,000 Dragons Imperial Court soared into the sky. They carried a large amount of resources and flew into the distance. They had to save the Dragon Prince. The Phoenix race, the Qilin race, and the other monarch races were also shocked. Especially the Phoenix race, their expressions changed. This was the aura of the ancient desolate tower. Could it be related to Qingqing? The Qilin race. The Qilin sun smiled. Good, very good. Dragon Prince, it seems that I don't need to do anything. Someone wants your life. Ha ha ha, I'm so happy. Last time, he poisoned the Dragon Prince, which was enough to show that he wanted to kill the Dragon Prince, but he did not succeed. This time, the Dragon Prince's Tao heart was shattered, and he was ready to make a move. However, he did not expect that someone would be faster than him. Who was it? Was it Lin Wudi? He thought of someone. It seemed that he had to think of a way to kill the other party, because this was someone even more terrifying than the Dragon Prince. He would not allow anyone on the Emperor Road to surpass him. The two extreme grade weapons were awakened, and the world was destroyed again. At this moment, Lin Xian's eyes burst out with an extremely terrifying light. Everyone, help me recover fully. Heaven-devouring jar. Lin Xian said coldly. The people of the Black Sea Dragon race nodded. They had destroyed countless realm cores and used the power of several worlds to provide all of it to the heaven-devouring jar. In the starry sky of the universe, 7 stars had turned into ashes. The heaven-devouring jar burst out with light, and an extremely terrifying sharp sound soared into the sky. The world turned dark again. The heaven-devouring jar erupted and attacked the 10,000 Dragons portrait. Not good. The 10,000 Dragons dynasty's patriarch's expression changed drastically. The remaining elders were even more terrified. The two sides were evenly matched, but with half of the heaven-devouring jar, the situation changed. With a clang, the 10,000 Dragons portrait was knocked back. More than a dozen elders of the dragon race were instantly swallowed and turned into a bloody mist. The Dragon Prince's blood boiled, and he spat out large mouthfuls of blood. Damn it, run. The people of the 10,000 Dragons dynasty did not dare to resist at all. However, the ancient desolate tower and the sky-reaching crown had fully recovered, and they could not escape at all. At this critical moment, the 3 patriarchs' eyes were filled with despair. Prince, it's up to you now. Run back to your family. The family's experts will receive you. The Dragon Prince gritted his teeth. I'll avenge you. In the next moment, he soared into the sky, merged with the 10,000 Dragons portrait, and flew into the distance. The 3 patriarch souls were immediately destroyed by the 2 emperor weapons. A bloody mist filled the world. The peak supreme saints had fallen. The entire Mount Eternal was covered in a bloody rain. Countless people were terrified. The peak supreme saints stood at the top of the saint realm. As long as the great emperors did not appear, they were the absolute powerhouses. But now they had fallen, and 3 of them had fallen at once. Chapter 5171. The people of the 10,000 Dragon dynasty went crazy. The 3 ancestral patriarchs' soul jade tablets shattered, causing them to kneel on the ground. They knew that the Dragon Prince was really in danger. His life was in danger. That attack just now was the aura of the sky-devouring crown. It was Lin Wuti. Damn it, they roared crazily. They weren't the only ones who felt the power of the sky-devouring crown. It was really Lin Xian who did it. Many people's scalps went numb. They knew that Lin Xian and the Dragon Prince had a grudge, but they didn't expect Lin Xian to be so daring. He really dared to kill the Dragon Prince. Moreover, he could summon 3 emperor weapons. How did he do it? The people of the Gu family, Yi family, and the other 3 orthodoxies were shocked. In the distance, the Qilin and Phoenix clan were also shocked. Lin Wuti's name would probably sweep through the 9 heavens in the future. Even the emperor clans would be terrified. However, could he really kill the Dragon Prince? At this moment, the Dragon Prince merged with the 10,000 Dragons portrait and flew into the 9 heavens. Lin Xian snorted coldly. You want to escape? He activated the great dragon sword soul with all his might and slashed through heaven and earth to stop the Dragon Prince. With a clang, the Dragon Prince was forced back. He roared angrily and tried to escape again. Lin Xian roared and charged forward. His entire being was like a god of swords as he moved boldly. At this moment, he had fully recovered the power of the great dragon sword soul. After using a few world cores, the great dragon sword soul exploded with power. The Dragon Prince spat out large mouthfuls of blood, and his body dimmed. Damn it, the Dragon Prince roared. I won't let you off. Lin Xian snorted coldly. You want to kill me? Are you a match for me? Today is the day you die. You want to kill me? Impossible. He didn't want to fight Lin Xian head-on. Instead, he wanted to escape. As long as he escaped back to his clan, he would be safe. At this moment, a large iron rod hit him, causing him to vomit blood. Damn monkey! He charged towards Sun Qiqian. Lin Xian's expression changed, and the others exclaimed. Although Sun Qiqian was an emperor prince, he didn't seem to have an emperor weapon. The dragon prince gritted his teeth. I'll kill you first. The bloodline in his body exploded, and the storage rings in his hand shattered. The realm core was destroyed. The 10,000 dragons diagram released an extreme might. Sun Qiqian shouted coldly, "You want to kill old Sun?" The rust on the iron staff in his hand fell off, and terrifying runes condensed. He struck out with a blow. With a clang, it actually blocked the 10,000 dragons diagram. Everyone was stunned. Lin Xian was also surprised. Could it be that this iron staff was also an extreme weapon? The monkey was forced to retreat. His palm was cracked, but he managed to block the dragon prince. Humph, you're not that good either. You're still far from being able to kill old Sun. You're going to die today? Lin Xian grasped the great dragon sword soul and rushed forward. Murong Qingcheng and Yan Ryu also walked over. The four of them surrounded the dragon prince completely. Everyone help me resist the myriad dragon diagram. And I'll kill him. Let me do it, Yan Ryu said. She knew that the one who killed the dragon prince would be hunted down fiercely. This matter was originally Yan Ruyu's revenge. Lin Xian said with a smile, "No, I'll do it. Not only do I have a grudge with him, but I also have a battle between great emperors. I will personally kill him. All right, I owe you a favor." Yan Ryu and the others took a deep breath. Let's do it. They attacked the 10,000 dragons diagram with all their might. As long as the dragon prince and the 10,000 dragons diagram left, Lin Xian would have a chance to kill the other party. The dragon prince was beaten until he spat out blood. Burn. At this moment, his great emperor bloodline was burning. He was going to fight back regardless of everything. His body quickly caved in. The 10,000 dragons diagram was covered in blood, and there was even a furious roar. In the distance, the endless void was torn apart. The reinforcements of the 10,000 dragons dynasty had arrived. Hurry! The dragon prince is burning his bloodline. We must hurry. They rushed over. On the other side, the crimson dragon and the others soared into the sky and blocked the way. Where do you think you're going? Get lost! The 10,000 dragons dynasty roared angrily. The two sides engaged in an earth-shattering battle. You want reinforcements to come? Don't even think about it. We have an ambush outside. Lin Xian smiled. Then the four of them attacked again. The 10,000 dragons diagram was beaten until it swayed. Finally, it left the dragon prince's body. It was suppressed by two great emperor weapons. At this moment, Lin Xian slashed at the dragon prince and cut him in half. The dragon prince screamed, "You can't kill me." This time, he was really terrified. His body couldn't heal. He roared angrily, "If you kill me, the 10,000 dragons dynasty will hunt you down. Do you want to die with me? Not only you, but everyone who participated in killing me, including those who are related to you, will be hunted down. You have to think carefully. Are you threatening me? Humph. You must die in the battle between great emperors. If the 10,000 dragons dynasty dares to take revenge, I will kill all of them." Lin Xian's eyes also erupted with cold killing intent. The great dragon sword soul attacked again, causing the dragon prince to scream in pain. At this moment, a piercingly cold light suddenly erupted from the dragon prince's glabella. An angry roar sounded in his bloodline. How dare you kill him? In the next moment, a hazy male phantom appeared and charged towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian's body shattered, and his glabella split open. He was severely injured. At the same time, the 10,000 dragons diagram also erupted. and a terrifying roar came from within. Oh no! Is the artifact spirit going to revive? Could that phantom be the Dragon Emperor's phantom? Has the Dragon Prince's bloodline become so terrifying? Yan Ruyu exclaimed. Murong Qingqing's expression changed drastically. The monkey roared and waved his iron staff nonstop. The 10,000 dragons diagram roared. He said, "Hurry, let's suppress the 10,000 dragons diagram, and not let it fuse with the Dragon Emperor's phantom." The three of them kept the 10,000 dragons diagram in check. Each of them was so shaken that they vomited blood. In the distance, the patriarch and patriarch of the Black Sea's dragon race had solemn expressions when they saw this scene. They didn't expect the artifact spirit of the 10,000 dragons diagram to come out when the Dragon Emperor's phantom appeared. It was too terrifying. "We can't help here. Let's go and meet up with our people to stop the reinforcements. We can't let them have the resources." They could tell that the Dragon Prince was lacking energy. If the reinforcements arrived, then the situation would really turn around. Therefore, even if they died, they couldn't let the people of the 10,000 Dragons dynasty come. These patriarchs and powerhouses soared into the sky and flew into the distance. They would leave this place to Lin Xian. Lin Xian vomited large mouthfuls of blood, and his glabella split open. He summoned the heaven-devouring jar to block it. With a clang, the heaven-devouring jar activated. He vomited blood and flew backward. At this moment, the Dragon Prince's body was like a skeleton, but he grinned. His voice was hoarse. "You can't kill me. My father once left me a life-saving talisman. This time, you will definitely die." Although he was so weak that he was about to die, he smiled happily. Lin Xian's expression also turned ugly. The Dragon Emperor's phantom. This was something he didn't expect. This power was too shocking and strange. Could it be that the Dragon Emperor wanted to kill him through endless time? Not good. Murong Qingqing and the others also became nervous. They were being targeted by the phantom of a great emperor. Brother Xian quickly recovered the great dragon sword soul. Chapter 5172. Lin Xian felt that he couldn't move at all. What he was facing now was not an extreme weapon. It was a great emperor. It was too terrifying. This great emperor's shadow could destroy him with a single glance. Die. The Dragon Emperor's shadow roared into the sky, and Lin Xian's body shattered again. However, at this moment, the demon summoning scripture in his body circulated. A demonic shadow appeared behind him and froze the world. This demonic shadow emitted a terrifying aura and directly blocked the Dragon Emperor. This sudden change stunned Murong Qingqing and the others. Then they heaved a sigh of relief. The Dragon Emperor gritted his teeth and roared, "You're the Demon Emperor. You want to protect this kid?" The Demon Emperor didn't say anything. The Dragon Emperor's shadow roared crazily. "Why? Could it be that you want to?" Before he could finish speaking, the Demon Emperor suddenly attacked the Dragon Emperor again. The two shadows exploded at the same time. In the next moment, a destructive power rushed over. Everyone was sent flying by the blast. Lin Xian was protected by the heaven-devouring jar, but he still vomited blood. When everything calmed down, the demonic shadow and the Dragon Emperor's shadow both disappeared. What was that? Was it also the shadow of a great emperor? Even the monkey was surprised. Murong Qingqing, on the other hand, frowned. What did he mean by that? What was the purpose of this demonic shadow? She couldn't understand. Lin Xian didn't think too much about it. At this moment, he stood up. Although he was severely injured, he had the divine spring of life in his sword world. Using the power of the divine spring of life, the cracks on Lin Xian's body quickly healed. He held the great dragon sword soul and walked forward again. "What else do you have?" The Dragon Prince was in despair. At this moment, he was only skin and bones and had no strength to resist. His Tao heart was completely shattered. Even the method left behind by his father was broken by the other party. The 10,000 Dragons portrait was suppressed by other extreme weapons. What else could he do? However, his eyes erupted with a cold light. You're abandoned by immortals. I curse you. Eternal damnation. A crazy voice sounded, and his face became ferocious. A monstrous bloodlight condensed on his body, forming a curse rune that charged towards Lin Xian. It was over. Lin Xian roared in anger. Gripping the great dragon sword spirit with both hands, he slashed down with all his might. Destroy everything. The dragon prince was split in half, his body and soul destroyed. Boom. Above the 9 heavens, a large crack appeared. A rain of blood poured down, sweeping through heaven and earth. This moment was even more terrifying than the fall of a peak great sage. Everyone raised their heads to look at the sky. They felt a sense of sorrow. Those demonic beasts were all crawling on the ground. Could it be that the dragon prince had fallen? Everyone was alarmed. This was a world-shaking event. Did that Lin Xian really succeed? Everyone from the 10,000 Dragons court was crying tears of blood right now. No, Prince, Lin Wuti, my 10,000 Dragons imperial court will fight you to the death. Even if you run to the ends of the earth, you will still die. Kill. Whether it was Lin Wuti or anyone related to him, they would all go to hell. At this moment, the 1,000 Dragons imperial court had gone completely mad. In Holy Abyss, ancient city, countless people were shocked. Leif Daudenier looked up into the sky and sighed. Had he perished? In the next moment, a terrifying light burst out from his eyes. Then he looked behind him. There were many figures standing there. They were the Nalan clan leader, the Dugu clan leader, and Fire Dragon Lady, and the other members of the Alliance. He said, "The Dragon Prince has fallen. Brother Lin told me to tell you to retreat and hide." The Nalan clan leader, the Dugu clan leader, and the other allies were shocked. The Dragon Prince was really dead. They didn't dare to imagine it. However, they knew that there was something even more terrifying, and that was the revenge of the 10,000 Dragons court. They would hide now. They hurriedly took action. They would probably go into seclusion for hundreds or thousands of years before completely disappearing. However, they didn't know what would happen to Lin Xian. Was he dead? The people of the Dragon Sea clan were terrified. The Blue clan and the others were in despair. The people of the 3 orthodoxies were also in an uproar. In the Path sect, several ancestral patriarchs sighed. They had originally supported the Dragon Prince. However, they didn't expect that the Dragon Prince would be killed by Lin Xian. He had really fallen. The Phoenix clan couldn't believe it. The Qilin clan was also shocked. The Qilin son laughed loudly. This Lin Wuti was really something. He actually managed to kill the Dragon Prince. However, he believed that he wouldn't have to do anything, except the crazy pursuit of the nest of 10,000 dragons. Ha ha! At this moment, countless people on the buried Emperor's star were shocked. The Dragon Prince's death made everyone remember the name Lin Wuti. In the graveyard of stars, Murong Qingcheng and the others were shocked. They had really killed the arch. Humph, he deserved it? Yan Ruyu snorted coldly. They had finally avenged the spirit realm. Murong Qingcheng was extremely worried about Lin Xian's future. Lin Xian waved his hand and enveloped the Dragon Prince's corpse, sealing it. He definitely wouldn't leave the corpse of a Tharch to the other party. The 10,000 Dragons diagram shone brightly and wanted to snatch it. However, it was forced back by Lin Xian and the others' extreme weapons. He roared and turned to leave. "Where do you think you're going?" Sun Qiqian raised his iron staff, but he still couldn't stop the other party. "Forget it. Monkey bro, let him go. We can't control this extreme weapon." Although they could suppress the other party in battle, it was very difficult to control the other party's extreme weapon unless you obtained the other party's approval. But how was that possible? The 10,000 Dragons diagram only belonged to the 10,000 Dragons dynasty. Now that they had killed the Dragon Prince, it was impossible for them to obtain the 10,000 Dragons diagram's approval. Everyone, don't contact me anymore. Hide and avoid the 10,000 Dragons dynasty's anger. What about you? Murong Qingcheng was nervous. Yan Ryu said, "We will bear it together." Lin Xian shook his head. "Don't worry, I have a way to protect myself. As long as you are fine, the 10,000 Dragons dynasty won't be able to hurt me." "Oh, right, wait here." After Lin Xian entered, he gave the Dragon Prince's flesh and blood to Murong Qingcheng and the others. "Don't waste the Thearcha's blood." "All right, let's part here." Lin Xian charged into the sky. "Big Brother Xian!" Murong Qingcheng cried. Yenryu took a deep breath. "Don't worry, he will be fine. If he is in danger, I will stop at nothing. Sun Qiqian is right. I have a part to play in this too. If the 10,000 Dragons dynasty really doesn't care about anything, I will destroy them. I understand. Thank you. Let's go." Murong Qingcheng took a deep breath. Then they flew in all directions. The Crimson Dragon and the others also left. When they left, the Crimson Dragon met up with Lin Xian. Lin Xian gave him a portion of the Dragon Prince's flesh and the heaven-swallowing crown jar. "This is the Dragon Prince's essence blood. You need it. The heaven-swallowing crown jar will be in your care for now. If the 10,000 Dragons dynasty attacks you with an extreme weapon, you can defend against it." The Crimson Dragon's eyes teared up. They were brothers for life. He and Lin Xian had experienced too many things together. There was no need for words. The people of the Black Ocean Dragon race were shocked. Lin Xian actually lent them the imperial weapon. They couldn't repay such kindness. Moreover, Lin Xian had helped them kill their enemies. They were extremely grateful. The Black Ocean Dragon Lord looked at Lin Xian and bowed deeply. "From now on, the Black Ocean Dragon race will respect you and listen to your orders." Chapter 5173. The Dragon Prince's death shocked the entire buried Emperor Star. He was probably the first emperor to die. The impact was just too terrifying. The 10,000 Dragon dynasty was furious and immediately sent out a kill order. They wanted to kill Lin Xian, the monkey, the Jade Lake successor, and the Azure Emperor's descendant. They knew that the 10,000 Dragon dynasty experts who attacked Lin Xian and the others had all died. However, this news was spread by the 10,000 Dragon picture. The 10,000 Dragon picture left and sent the news to the 10,000 Dragon dynasty. The 10,000 Dragon dynasty immediately sent out a kill order. When the people of the buried Emperor Star heard this, they were all shocked. It was actually 4 young people who did it. They knew about Lin Xian and the monkey. One was the invincible Great Sage, and the other was the Great Sage, Heaven's equal. But they didn't know about the other 2. The Jade Lake successor and the Azure Emperor's descendant. Heavens, these 2 people were also extraordinary. However, they did not know who these 2 people were. After the Phoenix race received the news, they frowned. Wasn't the Jade Lake successor Murong Qingcheng? As expected, she also attacked. "Quick, bring Qingcheng back." The old Phoenix ordered. The 10,000 Dragon dynasty experts went crazy, but they couldn't find these people at all. These people had left long ago. The 10,000 Dragon dynasty was furious. They first went to the Taoist sect. Countless Dragon race experts covered the sky and headed to the Taoist sect. The Taoist sect was facing a huge enemy. Although they were an ancient orthodoxy, they were still in a precarious situation. The Taoist sect's old ancestor instantly came out. What was the meaning of this? The 10,000 Dragon dynasty's old ancestor scoffed coldly. "Hand over Lin Xian, or I will destroy your Taoist sect." Terrifying killing intent swept through the 9 heavens. The people of Saint Distant Ancient City were shocked, and the disciples of the Taoist sect were terrified. This was because they realized that the other party had brought an extreme weapon. The might of the extreme weapon caused the space above the Taoist sect to shatter. The expressions of the people of the Taoist sect were also extremely ugly. The old ancestor scoffed coldly. "You guys are too much. Do you really think that the Taoist sect is so easy to mess with? Our Taoist sect has a long history, and many experts came from our Taoist sect. Try it." Although there were no extreme weapons in the Tao, they were still not afraid, because what they said was right. There were too many top-notch experts that came from them, and they were scattered across the myriad worlds. If the Tao sect was destroyed, these experts would definitely go crazy. Even if they didn't dare to attack the 10,000 Dragon Court head-on, the people of the dragon race would suffer in the future. It was hard to say when it would be destroyed. The 10,000 Dragon dynasty naturally knew this, so they only took out extreme weapons to threaten him. However, if they really couldn't find Lin Xian, they would go crazy. Fantasy World Ancestor also sighed. Lin Xian did not return at all. He didn't come back? Humph, we don't believe you. Let us investigate. The experts of the 10,000 Dragon dynasty weren't convinced. Fantasy World Old Ancestor said, "Everyone, you don't even believe me? My Tao sect has no reason to lie to you. Besides, do you think Lin Xian will come back? Since he hasn't returned, we have to take the people from the divine union away. Let's see if he comes back." The 1,000 Dragon Court's patriarch waved his hands and was about to envelop the divine union. The people of the divine union were stunned. Was he going to attack them? The savage desolation patriarch slashed his blade across the sky, cutting off their path. "You are looking for Lin Xian. What does that have to do with the divine union? Every grievance has its perpetrator, and every debt has its debtor. If you attack Lin Xian, that is your grudge. The people of the divine union have not participated in this matter. They are disciples of the Tao sect. Try attacking the divine union. Today, I will attack you." The 10,000 Dragon Court roared angrily as the 10,000 Dragon portrait above his head unleashed a terrifying, destructive aura. The entire ancient city started to shake violently at this moment. They were all in despair. Would the Holy Abyss City still exist after this attack? The savage desolation patriarch roared, and more figures appeared on the ground. At the same time, a few sacred weapons floated in the sky. The 10,000 Dragon Court was too much. They attacked the innocent disciples of the divine union. They would rather die than submit in today's battle. Prepare for battle. Following this order, countless light arrays lit up in the entire Tao sect. Figure after figure shot up into the sky, their eyes shining fiercely. They would live and die with the Tao sect. At the same time, news after news flew to the 9 heavens and 10 earths. This was to inform all the sects and families that were related to the Tao sect. In an instant, everyone was alarmed. The people from the other 2 great orthodoxies also received the news and sent out their powerhouses. Stop. The people from the Sky sect came, and so did the people from the Earth sect. The 3 great orthodoxies were united. Although there were conflicts between them, if one of them was in danger of being annihilated, the other 2 would definitely step in. Were the 2 of them going to stop this? The 10,000 Dragon Court was so angry that they wanted to vomit blood. The Sky sect elder said coldly, "Killing the Dragon Prince was Lin Xian's business. It had nothing to do with the divine union or the Tao sect. If you attack these people, don't blame the 3 great orthodoxies for being unwilling." That's right. The Earth sect's powerhouses also stepped forward. "It is only right that you seek revenge on Lin Xian. We don't care. However, the others can't move. Who knows if Lin Xian is hiding in the Tao sect? Unless you let us investigate. Otherwise, we won't let this matter rest." Even if we have to turn the world upside down, we won't hesitate. The Thousand Dragon Court had gone crazy. Their dragon prince was dead. There was no hope left. So, what if they turned the world upside down and everything ceased to exist? The supreme elders of the Sky Sect and Earth Sect came over. They discussed with the savage wilderness ancestor and the others to let them investigate. Otherwise, this bunch of lunatics would definitely attack. As long as Lin Xian wasn't here, they would be safe. The two patriarchs sighed. They knew that this was the last line they could take. Fine. We'll let you investigate. The two ancestors of the dragon tribe walked out. Their souls shrouded the entire Dao sect and began to investigate. After half an hour, they withdrew their souls. Their faces were terrifyingly gloomy. The savage wilderness ancestor snorted. Was he here? The ancestors of the dragon tribe shouted coldly. Let's go to the dragon tribe of the Black Sea. If Lin Xian wasn't in the Dao sect, then he could only be in the dragon tribe of the Black Sea. The people of the Dao sect heaved a sigh of relief. However, the ancestors had grave expressions on their faces. It seemed like the Thousand Dragon Court wouldn't let this matter rest until they killed Lin Xian and the others. Everyone on the buried Emperor's star was paying attention to this matter. The Black Sea. The winds and clouds changed. Countless demonic beasts in the sea prostrated themselves in fear. They felt the aura of an extreme Tao descending from the sky. Facing the three great orthodoxies, the dragon tribe seemed to be afraid. However, facing the dragon tribe of the Black Sea, they weren't afraid at all. They were only filled with boundless anger. Therefore, they directly used an extreme Tao weapon. The entire Black Sea was completely penetrated. Countless demonic beasts were killed. At this moment, everyone was shocked. The Thousand Dragon Court was attacking the Black Sea. Heavens, the dragon tribe of the Black Sea wouldn't be destroyed, right? It was very likely that no matter how strong he was, he wouldn't be able to block the attack of an extreme Tao weapon. At this moment, countless people sighed. The faces of the divine union changed drastically. Not good. The Black Sea was their ally and the home of the Crimson Dragon. Could it be that everything was going to be destroyed? Chapter 5174. The people of the Sky Sect sighed. The dragon race of the Black Sea was finished. The people of the Dragon Sea race sneered. Great, they didn't know what was good for them. The others were terrified. Even the top remote ancient aristocratic families were unable to withstand the wrath of the Emperor clan. They couldn't provoke the monarch race anymore. It could only be said that Lin Xian was too crazy. He even dared to kill the Dragon Prince. Just wait and see. This was only the beginning. Everyone thought that the dragon race of the Black Sea would be destroyed. However, in the dragon race of the Black Sea, the Crimson Dragon snorted coldly. He had long been prepared. Patriarch, do it. The Patriarch of the Black Sea and the other patriarchs took a deep breath. In front of them, the heaven-devouring jar floated up and down. In the next moment, an extremely terrifying power erupted. The 10,000 dragons picture in the sky descended, shattering heaven and earth. However, at this moment, a black vortex suddenly appeared and swallowed everything. He managed to block the destructive blow. An earth-shaking sound rang out, and a terrifying extreme Tao light swept across heaven and earth. At this moment, the entire Black Sea was boiling. Not only that, but the people of the Yuanguang continent also felt it. What kind of aura was that? Heavens, the extreme Tao weapons were colliding. Countless people were shocked. Where did the dragon race of the Black Sea get the extreme Tao weapons? The people of the Tao were also shocked. They sensed carefully and then exclaimed. It was the aura of the heaven-devouring jar. Could it be that Lin Xian was in the dragon race of the Black Sea? Countless people were shocked. The eyes of the patriarch of the 10,000 dragons dynasty shone with a terrifying light. Revive the extreme Tao weapons at all costs. If the heaven-devouring jar was here, that kid must be here too. More than 10 stars in the universe shattered, and their power was absorbed by the 10,000 dragons picture. Then it unleashed a full-powered attack. Oh no! The expressions of the dragon race of the Black Sea changed drastically. Quick, revive the heaven-devouring jar. At all costs, they didn't dare to be careless. Endless resources were consumed. The heaven-devouring jar shone and swallowed the sky and earth, blocking the attack. However, it was still crushed to death. After all, there was only half of the heaven-devouring jar. Countless people's blood boiled, but they still heaved a sigh of relief. So, what if it was half an extreme Tao weapon? It couldn't defeat the dragon race? The heaven-devouring jar was like the black tortoise's shell. The people of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty were furious. Damn it, come out and fight if you have the guts. Lin Woody, you dare to kill our prince, but you don't dare to come out and fight with us? A crazy voice rang out. After a few days, they launched their second all-out attack. The members of the Black Sea Dragon tribe were injured. Their faces were pale. The Crimson Dragon gnashed its teeth. Damn it, just you wait. The tribe leader of the Xianhai tribe sighed. Although the Dragon tribe could survive, the Xianhai tribe was probably done for. Sure enough, the entire Black Sea was torn apart, and endless amounts of seawater were evaporated. The living beings in the Black Sea were destroyed, and blood dyed the sky red. The entire Black Sea turned into a sea of blood. Other than the Dragon tribe of the Black Sea, which was protected by the sky-devouring jar, all the other beast clans and sects were annihilated. Countless people were terrified. The 10,000 Dragon Dynasty didn't give up and continued to gather resources. They had to kill Lin Xian. Endless forests and mountains. Far away from the Black Sea, Lin Xian also heard the news. No, he couldn't let this continue. If this continued, the heaven-devouring jar might not be able to protect him. It seemed that he had to make a move. Thinking of this, Lin Xian flew towards the nearby city. He appeared there and challenged a few prodigies, causing a commotion. Heavens, he's Lin Woody. No way. Isn't he in the Black Sea? Why would he appear here? Is it a clone? No. I can sense a terrifying aura from his 9-yang divine body. That's his true body. Exclamations sounded one after another. Soon, the news spread. That guy actually appeared in the Alioth continent. Countless people were shocked. In an instant, the news spread to the Alcade continent, the Black Sea. After the people of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty received the news, they went crazy. How was that possible? Were they sure? That kid was in the Alioth continent. Wasn't he in the Black Sea Dragon tribe? They were sure. Someone saw it with their own eyes. Moreover, a prodigy had fought with him. It was the 9-yang divine body. It was his true body. Damn it. Let's go and kill him. The powerhouses of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty soared into the sky and stopped attacking the Black Sea Dragon tribe. They went to the Alioth continent. Had they stopped attacking? The people of the Black Sea Dragon tribe heaved a sigh of relief. The Crimson Dragon tribe frowned. Lin Xian probably knew that we were being attacked, so he came out. I wonder if that kid can dodge the attack. The Alioth continent. On this day, they were also terrified. They could sense an extreme weapon flying through the sky. The people of the Phoenix race also acted as if they were facing a great enemy. The Tianpeng race, the Fate race, and the other ancient families were also shocked. They only sent a few people to investigate and recalled most of their emperors. When the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty arrived, Lin Xian had already disappeared. This caused countless people to grit their teeth. The others also sighed. This method was like finding a needle in a haystack. The buried emperor's star was so big. It was impossible to find the other party if he found a place to hide. The 10,000 Dragon diagram emitted a soul aura. The prince had been cursed, This was a clue. The eyes of the dragon race's patriarch lit up. They formed hand seals and searched. In the next moment, they snorted coldly and left. The endless mountain range was incomparably quiet. Suddenly, 10,000 dragons descended, piercing through everything inside the mountain range. In a cave abode, Lin Xian sat cross-legged. In the next moment, his pupils constricted. Damn it, the aura of the 10,000 dragon diagram. The other party had found him. How was this possible? He summoned the dimensional beast and instantly teleported away, dodging the fatal attack. In the next moment, the demon god wings on his back unfolded, and he instantly escaped. Kid, can you escape? When the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty saw this scene, they charged over crazily. Lin Xian continued to shuttle back and forth. He even began to burn his energy. However, every time he disappeared for a few days, the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty would be able to accurately find him. What was going on? Even if he used the Great Dragon Sword Soul to destroy his aura, the other party would still be able to find him. His face darkened. What was the problem? Was it because the Dragon Prince's corpse was with him? That shouldn't be. The other party shouldn't be able to detect the Sword World. Could it be? Lin Xian recalled that before the Dragon Prince died, he had cursed him. At that time, he didn't care about it. Perhaps it was the power of the curse. He wasn't sure if it was the power of the curse or the Dragon Prince's corpse. He decided to give it a try. He entered the Sword World to see if the other party could still find him this time. This time, a month had passed, but the other party still hadn't found him. This made Lin Xian heave a sigh of relief. The Sword World was incomparably mysterious and isolated all auras. From the looks of it, in this world, the Dragon Prince was either a clue or a clue to the curse. In the past month, the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty had gone crazy. They couldn't sense the other party's aura. The other party disappeared into thin air? What a joke. They had already found clues to the curse. Even if the other party left, they would be able to sense it. Unless the other party escaped to the edge of the universe, the information of the clues would become infinitely weak. But with the other party's strength, how could he be so fast? Then why couldn't they sense the other party's aura? The people of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty were going crazy. Chapter 5175. After another half a month, Lin Xian walked out of the Sword World. Instantly, the people of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty sensed his aura and charged over again. Lin Xian quickly escaped and entered the Sword World again. This time, he completely disappeared. Damn it, after waiting for a year, the people of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty didn't feel Lin Xian's aura anymore. They were crazy. The ancestor of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty said he was definitely in the Yuhan continent and didn't escape. He didn't know what method he used. Then what should we do? Should we continue to wait? The elder of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty frowned. If the other party doesn't come out in 100 years, do we have to wait for 100 years? They couldn't afford to wait at all. The other party was young. After 100 years of seclusion, his strength broke through, and he swept through the world. As for them, they were in a hurry to take revenge. The one who killed the Dragon Prince was Lin Xian, but there were 4 people who attacked the Dragon Prince. Now, they couldn't find Lin Xian. What about the other 3? This kid was too evil and had many methods. Send people to stay in the Yuhan continent to search for his whereabouts. At the same time, we will chase after the other 3 people and attack anyone related to them. Use all the forces under us to spread the news. Let's spread the news. Let's see if the kid will come out when he finds out that all the people and sects related to him have perished. Let's go. The ancestor of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty left with his men. Next, the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty sent out an order. The Dragon Sea Race, Thunder Dragon Race, Flying Dragon Race, Blue Race, and Feather Race. All the families and sects related to them moved out. They crazily attacked the families and sects related to Lin Xian. At the same time, the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty searched for the monkey, the Jade Lake successor, and the Azure Emperor successor. Finally, after expending endless effort, they learned that the Jade Lake successor was Murong Qingcheng of the Phoenix race. They once again charged towards the Yuhan continent and arrived at the Phoenix race. Hand over Murong Qingcheng, or don't blame us for being impolite. The Phoenix race leader walked out and said coldly, "If you want to fight, I'll accompany you." The old Phoenix's eyes were filled with killing intent. The 10,000 Dragon Dynasty attacked crazily, and the 10,000 Dragons diagram exploded. "I'm not afraid of you." The father and son of the Phoenix clan made their move, and the extreme weapons of the Phoenix clan also erupted. At the same time, another extreme Dao weapon erupted, blasting the 10,000 Dragons diagram back. The power of the ancient desolate tower, the old ancestor of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty, hollered in rage. "Murong Qingcheng, as expected, you were here. Come out and accept your death." Murong Qingcheng stood in the void with the desolate tower in his hand and said coldly, "Damn you, Dragon Prince, go back." The 10,000 Dragon Dynasty's people were furious. "Do you believe that I won't destroy Jade Lake right now?" They prepared to leave and attack the Jade Pool. Murong Qingcheng's expression changed. In the next moment, she said coldly, "If you dare to destroy the Jade Lake, I will destroy the 1,000 Dragon Court. You only have one extreme weapon, and you keep it on you. As long as you leave, I will bring people to wipe out the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty." Damn, the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty people were crazy. That was indeed the case. They could destroy the Jade Lake because the Jade Lake Desolate Tower was in the hands of Murong Qingcheng. They were in the same situation. If they swept across the world with the 10,000 Dragon diagram, their headquarters would be in danger. Good. Murong Qingcheng, just you wait. The people of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty gritted their teeth. This Murong Qingcheng was even more difficult to deal with. With the desolate tower and the support of the Phoenix race, no matter how strong they were, they couldn't defeat her. They could only give up. Next, they chased after the monkey and the successor of the Azure Arch. They really found the monkey, and countless people chased after him. After a great battle, the monkey was injured and left. However, it was impossible for the people of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty to kill the monkey. The iron staff in the monkey's hand was too terrifying. It might even be an extreme weapon. They didn't succeed, but the chase didn't stop. As for the successor of the Azure Arch, he was more mysterious and they couldn't find him for a while. However, Yen Ryu took the initiative to walk out and summon the monkey to the Demon Emperor Mountain. Damn it, it was actually the people of the Demon Emperor Mountain. The people of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty rushed over with killing intent and attacked the Demon Emperor Mountain. However, the successor of the Azure Arch, Yen Ryu, also had an extreme weapon in his hand. Although the power of the Demon Emperor Mountain was suppressed, they still managed to protect it. Moreover, the monkey came to the Demon Emperor Mountain, and the two extreme weapons suppressed the 10,000 Dragon picture. The people of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty went crazy with anger. The others were also shocked. In the past few years, the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty had been attacking the buried Emperor's Star crazily. As for the people on the buried Emperor's Star, they were incomparably terrified. Every day there would be big news. In the end, they realized that the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty couldn't kill a single one of them. At the same time, they also knew why the Dragon Prince had died. Lin Xian had the heaven-swallowing jar, which was half an extreme weapon. The remaining 3 people were even stronger, and each of them had an extreme weapon. 4 extreme weapons were used against one Dragon Prince. It would be strange if the Dragon Prince didn't die. Lin Xian was too terrifying. Even his friends were so terrifying. Countless people were terrified. Even the princes frowned. Qilin's expression was serious. It seemed that he had to be careful in the future, for extreme weapons were indeed difficult to deal with, but he wasn't afraid. It could only be said that the Dragon Prince was too careless and stupid. Now that he knew that the other party's friends were so powerful, he naturally wouldn't let these people join forces. He had to defeat them one by one. Of course, he was going to sit on the mountain and watch the tigers fight. He would let these people fight with the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty first. It would be best if both sides were injured. The Kunpeng race, the yin and yang laws surrounded them, but at this moment, it was abnormally quiet. The Kunpeng race would occasionally gather information. At the same time, they also took defensive measures. Their Kunpeng son was in seclusion with all his might to break through to the supreme sage realm. On this day, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. With a long roar, the black and white lights turned into divine swords that shot into the clouds. A vast aura of a great sage flew out from the secret chamber. The Kunpeng race was delighted. Great, he broke through. Kunpeng's son had finally broken through. The Kunpeng race walked over and stood in front of the secret room excitedly. "Congratulations, Your Highness! Congratulations, Your Highness!" The door slowly opened, and a man surrounded by black and white energy appeared. He was like a yin and yang god. His eyes were like lightning, and the corners of his mouth curled up. "My strength is more than 10 times stronger than before. Lin Wuti, this time I will let you know how powerful I am." With a cold snort, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. At the same time, he said, "Send a challenge to Lin Wuti. I want to challenge him." At the same time, tell me, has the Dragon Prince broken through? Kunpeng's son had previously exchanged 3 blows with Lin Xian and left after losing. Now that his cultivation had broken through, the first thing he wanted to do was to challenge Lin Xian. He wanted to prove to the world that he was never afraid of anyone at the same level as him. Of course, he was also concerned about the Dragon Prince. This was a prince who wasn't weaker than him. Had he broken through before him? In front of him, the Kunpeng race powerhouses were stunned and had strange expressions. They didn't know what to say. "What's wrong?" Kunpeng's son frowned. "Could it be that the Dragon Prince broke through before me? This guy is really fast." "Humph, I will challenge him too. I want to trample him under my feet." Chapter 5176. An elder of the Kunpeng clan walked out and said, "Your Highness, the Dragon Prince is dead." "What?" Kunpengzi was stunned. He couldn't believe his ears. He asked, "Did the Dragon Prince lose to Lin Xian again?" The elder in front shook his head. "His Highness didn't lose, he died." Kunpengzi's pupils constricted, and his heart stopped beating at this moment. "The Dragon Prince is dead." "He's an emperor." "He's dead. Who did it?" He asked quickly. "God, how many years has it been since I went into seclusion?" 3 years. "One emperor has died." "What exactly happened?" "It's Lin Wuti who killed him." An elder said. Kunpengzi felt his vision go dark, and he almost fainted. He roared angrily. "What did you say? Lin Wuti killed him? Lin Wuti already has such strength?" At this moment, he felt that his Tao heart was about to collapse. He admitted that Lin Xian was strong. He was the first to break through to the great sage realm. He could even defeat him and the Dragon Prince. But defeat and death were 2 different things. As emperors, they had extreme weapons to protect themselves. Even if they were defeated, they wouldn't die. "What's going on? Tell me clearly." Kunpengzi roared crazily. "Your Highness, don't be anxious. It's not what you think." Seeing that Kunpengzi's aura was unstable, the elders of the Kunpeng clan were also worried. Your Highness, stabilize your Tao heart and listen to me slowly. They told him what had happened in the past 3 years. Kun Pengzi's expression was extremely solemn. It wasn't what he thought. It wasn't Lin Xian who killed him alone. Instead, it was a group of powerhouses and 3 extreme weapons. It might even be 4 extreme weapons. Damn it, this Lin Wudi actually has such means. No wonder the Dragon Prince died. Not to mention the other party. Even if he encountered such a situation, he would definitely die. The monkey, the successor of the Jade Pool, and the successor of Emperor Qing. Kun Pengzi frowned. Among them, he already knew that the successor of the Jade Pool was Morong Qingcheng. She was the 7-colored phoenix of the Phoenix clan. He didn't know the successor of Emperor Qing, but the other party was in the monster Emperor Mountain. As for the origin of this monkey, it was a little mysterious. What kind of great emperor's descendant was this? Was the iron rod in his hand an extreme weapon? Those from the Kunpeng race also frowned. The monkey's identity was a little terrifying, as if it could be traced back to 1,000,000 years ago. 1,000,000 years ago. Kunpeng frowned. Who knew about something that happened so long ago? However, regardless of their identities, Kunpeng still remembered them in his heart. Be careful in the future. However, the Kunpeng race's people said that their situation wasn't good. The 10,000 Dragon Dynasty used all of its power to hunt down these people. Furthermore, the clans and sects related to these people were all attacked. Many clans and sects had already been destroyed, and many experts had fallen. This was a war that would probably last for many years. That was indeed the case. Another elder said, "Your Highness, you should stay in the clan and cultivate during this period of time." Kunpeng nodded. What they had said was right. All the clans and sects related to the Divine Union had been affected. Even the families of the members of the Divine Union were being suppressed, some of them directly shattered into pieces. As for those top-notch sects, they had long closed their doors, but they were still injured. In any case, their days were very tough. The 10,000 Dragon Dynasty spread the news. They were the ones who made Lin Xian and the others go crazy. Then they would come out to take revenge. At that time, they would have a chance. Although the other party had a lot of Emperor weapons, their foundation wasn't as strong as the Emperor race. The foundation of the Emperor race surpassed everything. When the time came to compete in terms of endurance, they would definitely be able to sweep everything. If the few Emperor weapons couldn't be fully recovered, the one key all-purpose diagram would be able to sweep everything. It would be better to snatch the enemy's weapons. Therefore, they had to make a move regardless of the price. In fact, they even began to frantically sweep across the universe. They came to occupy those resources. The 10,000 Dragon Dynasty could be said to have started the craziest mode. In an instant, the universe fell into darkness. As a result, the top genius experts all went into seclusion to avoid this crisis. Inside the sword world, Lin Xian had been cultivating. He knew that the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty would definitely not give up. It was useless for him to go out now. The most important thing was to increase his strength and cultivation. When his strength increased, he would kill the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty with Monkey, Qing Cheng, and the others. At that time, he would directly destroy the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty. Lin Xian's eyes exploded with sharp killing intent. Beside him was the Dragon Prince's corpse. He had to admit that the other party's body was full of treasures. The Hellfire Dragon immediately rushed up and said, "Oh my God! Kid, what kind of existence did you kill? Why do I feel so terrified when I feel his bloodline?" Lin Xian glanced at him and said, "You don't know him, right? This is the descendant of the Dragon Emperor. What, you killed an Emperor's son? And it's the Emperor's son of the Dragon race. How did you do it?" As a top expert, the Hellfire Dragon naturally knew how terrifying the Emperor's son was. Killing the Emperor's son was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. You don't have to worry about that. You only know that you had better behave yourself. Otherwise, I have the ability to destroy you." The Hellfire Dragon shook his head. "We are friends. How can we fight? It will hurt our friendship." He lowered his head and smiled. Let's meet and share some." He wanted a bit of the Dragon Prince's flesh and blood. Lin Xian glanced at him. "No way, these are all mine." "Damn, kid, don't be so stingy. Give me a drop of essence blood. Okay? All right, since you have helped me suppress experts before, I will give you a drop of essence blood." Lin Xian waved his sleeve, and the Hellfire Dragon caught it. "Ha ha ha, thank you very much." He rushed inside and began to refine it. Lin Xian also formed seals with his palms to refine the other party's power. This was definitely a treasure trove. Lin Xian absorbed it with all his might. He felt that his cultivation was increasing. At the same time, the Graveyard of Stars was also in chaos. A few Emperor weapons had collided and swept across this place, turning it into a land of death. No one dared to get close. However, a silhouette appeared there. This person had a handsome face, and there was a black vortex in his eyes. When those terrifying powers approached him, they were swallowed up. He was Yao Guang. At this moment, he used the demonic sky-devouring technique to come here and look around. He heard that a few peak great saints had died here. Were they all beaten into a bloody mist? The extreme grade weapon was indeed powerful. He formed seals with his palms and swallowed the sky and earth. There was still some bloody mist left in the world, and it quickly gathered toward him. It was swallowed by him. No, it was too little. He was unwilling to give up and continued to search. The Dragon Prince was dead. Was his body taken away? That damned Lin Xian, he didn't leave anything for me. He came here this time to find the Dragon Prince's body. If he could devour a monarch's son, his strength would undergo a tremendous change. But now, it seemed that the thing he wanted was taken away by the other party. Humph, damn it, Lin Xian, just you wait. One day, I will swallow you too. The sky-devouring jar is mine. Yao Guang's eyes were filled with murderous intent. Chapter 5177. The 10,000 Dragon Dynasty didn't give up. At the same time, they started to look for new allies. After all, they only had one extreme weapon, and it was too dangerous. They found the Z Mansion and the Gu family. They had already found out about the grievances between the Z Mansion and Lin Xian. The two of them were enemies, so they were prepared to work with the Z Mansion. In the Z Mansion main hall, the Z Mansion Lord looked at the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty expert and smiled. It was possible to work together, but the other party's alliance had too many extreme weapons. The 10,000 Dragon Dynasty expert scoffed coldly. Okay, we have already found out. Although your Z Mansion didn't have an emperor, you have an extreme weapon, the Dragon Pattern Cauldron. I was right, right? The Z Mansion Lord's pupils constricted. Since you know, then I won't hide it from you. Okay, but let me make it clear. After killing Lin Xian, we have to share the Earth Emperor inheritance with him. That was not a problem. The 10,000 Dragon Dynasty expert nodded. The Z Mansion Lord continued. He still had two treasures on him, the Heaven-Swallowing Jar and the Great Dragon Sword Soul. The Great Dragon Sword Soul belonged to the dragon race, and they didn't want it. But the Heaven-Swallowing Jar had to be given to them. The 10,000 Dragon Dynasty Old Ancestor's expression was dark and cold. He thought about it for a long time before nodding. Okay, no problem. It's a deal. The Z Mansion Lord smiled. Then he wished them a happy cooperation. After that, the Violet Palace realm cultivators also began to search for Lin Xian. The 10,000 Dragon Dynasty came to the Gu family. They discussed with the Gu family. The Gu family was a little hesitant, but under Gu Feng's insistence, they agreed to work together. Gu Feng really wanted to kill Lin Xian. Moreover, the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty agreed that once Lin Xian died, they would give the Gu family a copy of the Nine-Yang God body and the Emperor's ancient scripture. The Gu family didn't care about other things, but having an Emperor's ancient scripture was really important to their development. They couldn't reject it. Just like that, the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty gathered two powers. This way, even if they were in danger, they could take out 3 extreme weapons to block. It could be said that their strength increased by several times. All of a sudden, the situation of Lin Xian and the others became even more dangerous. On the other side, inside the sword world, Lin Xian had been cultivating. His cultivation had improved a lot, but there was still a long way to go before he could break through to the Great Sage Intermediate. However, compared to when he had just broken through, his realm was much more stable. His strength was also growing steadily. But right now, there was one thing that gave him a headache, and that was that he was unable to leave the sword world. As soon as he left, the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty's people would discover him and hunt him down. The 10,000 Dragon Dynasty could gather countless resources to revive extreme weapons. But he couldn't. He couldn't afford it. Therefore, he had to think of a way. Lin Xian frowned. It was all because of the damn curse of the Dragon Prince. He tried to use the great dragon sword soul to destroy it. However, it was released by the Dragon Prince before he died. It was very strange. For a moment, he was actually unable to destroy this power. He called the Hellfire Dragon over. The two of them discussed. The Hellfire Dragon studied for a while, and finally came up with a solution. Using the great dragon sword soul as a seal, he temporarily sealed Lin Xian's aura. This way, he could avoid detection. However, he couldn't use the power of the great dragon sword soul. This was very dangerous for Lin Xian. After all, the power of the great dragon sword soul was equivalent to the heaven-swallowing jar. It was equivalent to half an extreme weapon. Lin Xian thought about it and said, "It's fine. As long as they don't use extreme weapons, I don't need to use the great dragon sword soul. As for the others, they aren't enough for me to use the power of the great dragon sword soul." This wasn't a long-term plan. Lin Xian knew that he just wanted a chance to get out. After getting out, he would find a way to break this curse. Next, Lin Xian used the great dragon sword soul to seal his aura. Then he walked out. After leaving this world, Lin Xian began to wait. He waited for 5 days, but no one came. He heaved a sigh of relief. Fortunately, this method was temporarily feasible. Next, he had to find a way to break it. With a wave of his hand, a black robe appeared on his body and covered his body. Then he tore open the void and disappeared. Regarding the matter of Lin Wudi and the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty, the entire buried Emperor's star was shocked. At the same time, another matter swept out. At first, it was only in a few clans. Later, it spread in all directions. The first to receive the news was the Golden Crow clan. However, they weren't able to block this news. Soon, the other clans also found out. This matter didn't happen on the buried Emperor's star. Instead, it happened outside the buried Emperor's star. In the starry sky, there was a sun near the buried Emperor's star. It was abnormally terrifying. When the people who returned from outside the universe passed by, they discovered that the sun had changed. There was an illusion of a palace on it. It was abnormally mysterious. Some people even tried to investigate it, but they were burned by the terrifying sun god flame. However, there were still experts who returned and recorded it with a formation. The illusion of the Sun Palace was transmitted back. After the Golden Crow clan obtained it, they were shocked. They discovered that it was the Sun God Palace. This shocked them. Their Golden Crow clan used to live on the sun. It swallowed the flames of the sun to form the Golden Crow flame. It was extremely terrifying and was revered by countless people. Apart from that, There was only one person who could have such ability, the legendary Great Emperor Ziyang. The Sun God Palace was very likely Great Emperor Ziyang's palace. Thinking of this possibility, they were extremely excited. Everything related to the martial monarchs was mysterious and supreme. If they could obtain it, their clans would undergo earth-shattering changes. It was even possible that a golden crow great emperor would appear. How could they not be excited? Therefore, the first thing they thought of was to block the news and quickly move out. They headed to the Sun God Palace. However, this news wasn't obtained by their clans. Therefore, it was too late for them to block it. The other clans and sects had also obtained it. Soon, someone recognized that it was the Sun God Palace. It was very likely that it was Great Emperor Ziyang's palace. Heavens! Was there a great emperor's inheritance inside? Even if there wasn't, there would definitely be relics and cultivation techniques left behind by a great emperor. Perhaps they could comprehend the Tao of a great emperor. Countless people went crazy. At this moment, they prepared to head to the Sun God Palace. The news spread very quickly. It spread from Taiching ancient city and swept across the Alcade continent. Then, it swept across the entire buried Emperor Star. Countless people learned about it. At this moment, the eyes of the clan of the ancients and the great sects were all red. Soon, peerless experts headed over. However, the news came again. Those who were blocked. What was going on? Everyone was terrified. Could it be that they could only look at the Sun God Palace but not enter? Soon, they found out this Sun God Palace was extremely mysterious. When ordinary great sages entered, they would be burned to ashes by the flames. As for peak great sages, they would be blocked by a barrier and unable to enter. Chapter 5178. There was a barrier. Very soon, these experts finished their investigation. Peak Supreme Saints were restricted by their cultivation and couldn't enter. In other words, only those below the peak of the Supreme Saint could enter. And because of the terrifying flames, ordinary Supreme Saints would definitely die if they entered. In the end, only those in the middle and late Supreme Saints could enter. After investigating, the clan of the ancients and the great sects quickly gathered their forces. They gathered the people of these two realms. Among them, the late Supreme Saints were mainly prepared to go with powerful holy weapons. Of course, they also saw this as an experience, so they also brought a group of outstanding genius disciples. In an instant, these people set off. Not only these families, the people of the emperor race also moved. Their families had produced emperors before. They also knew how terrifying an emperor was, so they couldn't miss anything related to the emperor. The Gu family, Yi family, Kunping clan, and Phoenix clan all went. The Thousand Dragon Court also prepared to move. They sent out a portion of their people. Most of them were still searching here. Among them, they had discussed whether Lin Xian would go or not, but they quickly rejected it. If this kid was really so daring, he would be courting death. One had to know that the other party had a curse on him. Thinking about it, he should be staying in some magical place and couldn't come out. Once he went out, they would immediately find out. And this magical place, they guessed that it was very likely to be a forbidden land of death like Mount Eternal. But they didn't know how he got in. They guessed that Lin Xian wouldn't go, so most of the dragon race experts wouldn't go either. After all, the dragon prince had fallen. They could only kill Lin Xian to vent their hatred. They didn't care about the other treasures. When Lin Xian heard the news, he was also surprised. Sun God Palace? He didn't expect another emperor's palace to appear. To be honest, he was very tempted. He needed the power of the earth more than those emperor races. The Hellfire Dragon was also surprised. Sun God Palace? Emperor Ziyang's palace? Incredible, he didn't expect it to appear at this time. Lin Xian said, "You know this emperor?" The Hellfire Dragon said, I heard that this emperor is also very terrifying. Purple Sun God Fire was terrifying. It was said that when he was young, he once fought with the Golden Crow clan. He swept through the Golden Crow clan. The Golden Crow clan was on the verge of decline. Later on, he fought all over the world and became a great emperor. Brat, going there is good for you. After all, you also cultivate the 9 young divine body. And there was another possibility. If you can find a strand of purple sun divine fire, perhaps I can use the divine power of the flame to burn away your curse. Lin Xian's eyes lit up. Really? Right now, this curse was giving him a huge headache. Of course it was real. If it was really the flame left behind by the great emperor, the Dragon Prince's curse would be nothing. All right, let's go to the Sun Palace as well. Lin Xian's figure flashed as he quickly flew towards the outer space. In the starry sky of the universe, a sun shone brightly. From time to time, illusions of palaces would appear above it. What was even more shocking was that there were powerful beings entering the sun from time to time. They tore through the flames and arrived on the star. The sun was also a star, but it had flames on it. It was very terrifying. As a result, no living creatures could live here. Of course, this was not absolute. For example, the legendary Golden Crow lived above the sun. Apart from that, there were also some extremely terrifying living creatures that would appear here. There were few of them, but one of them was extremely terrifying. At this moment, a black-robed man descended from the sky. When he landed on the sun, the surrounding flames crazily rushed over, wanting to tear him to pieces. He let out a cold snort. The flames entered his body and disappeared without a trace. This black-robed man was Lin Xian. Others were afraid of the sun, but he felt very comfortable when he arrived. The flames here were invisible resources for the 9 young divine body. Therefore, Lin Xian felt like he was walking on flat ground here. This sun is really a good place. If I cultivate here, my 9 young divine body will probably improve a lot. Lin Xian was delighted. Soon, he squinted his eyes and looked around. His eyes emitted a terrifying light. The sun was too big. He did not know where the great emperor's palace was. It was just an illusion. It was very difficult to find. Lin Xian was suddenly stunned. He sensed a familiar aura. It was the aura of samsara. The vagrant 6 paths. Is the other party here too? Lin Xian had fought with the 6 paths cultivator in the ancient city before. He was a very terrifying great sage. However, he was later suppressed by him and planted a mark on him, making him his battle's servant. After that, Lin Xian had many things to do and did not pay attention to him. He did not expect the other party to come. He formed a seal with his palms and gave an order. Then he waited with his hands behind his back. After about half a day, a figure flew over from afar with a terrifying aura. That person knelt on one knee and greeted the young master. "Get up," Lin Xian said indifferently. He nodded. "Your strength has increased a lot compared to before." The 6 paths cultivator was very respectful. "Thanks to the young master, I have had a fortuitous encounter recently." If others saw this scene here, they would definitely be shocked. The 6 paths cultivator was a terrifying great sage. He was an expert of the 6 paths sect and an expert on the Saint Origin ranking. However, in front of Lin Xian, he was extremely respectful. "Tell me about the situation on the sun. Are there any clues about the Solar God Palace? The sun is very big. Now, countless families, sects, and experts have already arrived. However, don't worry. There is a barrier here. Peak great sages can't enter. Ordinary sages are too weak. Most of them are mid-stage great sages and great sages. Everyone is still searching. However, I came early and did find some clues." Lin Xian's eyes lit up. "Oh, bring me there." He did not expect the Six Paths cultivator to be able to find clues. "Young master, please follow me." The Six Paths cultivator led the way. Then he began to tell Lin Xian about his previous experience. Actually, Lin Xian did not need him to say anything. He had already used his soul mark to check. The Six Paths cultivator saved a few people, and these people seemed to have found the Solar God Palace by accident. After flying for about a day, the Six Paths cultivator landed. There was a large crack in front of him, forming a small valley. There were flickering arrays around it. They were set up by the Six Paths cultivator. With a wave of his sleeve, a passage appeared in the array. The Six Paths cultivator invited Lin Xian in. The next moment, the array recovered, and the two entered the valley. In the valley, there were two figures. They looked very weak. They leaned against the mountain wall, and their eyes were a little dull. When they saw someone coming, their nervous bodies trembled. However, when they saw that it was the Six Paths cultivator, they were relieved. They heaved a sigh of relief. "Senior, you're finally back." Soon, they were stunned. They saw that there was another person beside the Six Paths cultivator. It was a person in a black robe. The Six Paths cultivator was extremely respectful to this person. This made them puzzled. Who could make him so respectful? Chapter 5179. "Tell me what happened to you," the Six Paths said in a deep voice. There were two young men in front of him. Their faces were pale, and they were injured. Hearing that, one of the young men took a deep breath and said, "The situation is like this. 5 days ago, a group of people from our family was searching. Gradually, we entered a valley. At first, we didn't think much of it. However, all of a sudden, terrifying flames erupted from the valley. Many demonic beasts rushed out and began to attack us crazily. Many of our family members died. It was our elders who risked their lives to escort the two of us out of here. But even so, we barely made it out alive. Those monsters chased after us. Fortunately, we met Senior. Otherwise, we would have been dead." "Monsters? What kind of monsters were they?" Lin Xian frowned. What else could live on the sun except for the golden crow? The two young men seemed to have thought of something. Their faces were filled with fear. They said in a trembling voice, "Crows. Crows surrounded by flames. They're too terrifying. We're from the fire family too, but our flames can't stop them. In fact, their claws could easily tear apart our defenses." Lin Xian frowned. The Six Paths said, "They're fire crows, sunfire crows. They're beasts of heaven and earth. They're living on the sun and have swallowed endless sun fire. That's why they're so terrifying. When I saved them, there were only a few chasing after them. That's why I was able to save them. If there were so many sunfire crows, I wouldn't have been able to do anything. I might have even died." So that was the case. Lin Xian finally understood. He looked ahead and said, "Do you still remember that valley? Take me there." Hearing that voice, the two young men were stunned, because the voice was also very young. They were very surprised. In their opinion, the person who could make the Six Paths so respectful should be an extremely terrifying old monster. But now they felt that the other party was a young man. However, they soon forgot about this matter, because the other party's words made them terrified. "Go to that valley again." They quickly shook their heads. "Senior, please spare us. It wasn't easy for us to come out alive. If we go in again, we might die. Don't worry. With me here, you'll be safe." Lin Xian said faintly. He felt that the valley was very likely a clue. Therefore, he would not miss it. The two of them hesitated. Did the Six Paths face darken? "Do you dare to disobey, young master? Do you believe that I won't care about you right now and bury you in the sun?" The two of them were shocked. "Young master," the black-robed man in front of them was indeed a young man. At the same time, they were terrified. "Senior, please spare my life." "Young master, please spare my life." We'll go. We'll lead the way. All right? Next, the two of them began to lead the way. The further they went, the more terrifying the flame aura became. The temperature of the entire void was enough to turn a saint into a bloody mist instantly. The two young men could not hold on any longer. The two of them were from the Leaf Fire clan and were geniuses. Previously, they had come here with the elders of the clan. They were here to gain experience. The ones who truly made a move were the elders. They didn't fear following the elders. If they had to go by themselves, they wouldn't be able to reach it. Luckily, Lin Xian and Six Paths Scatter Cultivator were here to help them defend against the flames. Only then could the two of them fly safely. After flying for about 5 days, they stopped. Vagabond Six Paths said that this was the place where I saved them. Look, there are still traces of battle around, but the corpses of the Sunfire Crows are gone. Lin Xian's eyes shone with a golden light as he looked around. He nodded and said, "Let's continue." The group continued forward, but Six Paths didn't know where they were going to go. He could only rely on these two young men. Finally, after flying for another 5 days, they arrived. There was a valley in front of them. From the outside, it looked simple and undangerous, but the two young men did not dare to go in. Lin Xian looked at Six Paths and said, "Let's go in and take a look." Six Paths Scattered Cultivator's body flashed and flew in. After entering, the surroundings were extremely quiet. Six Paths kept walking forward. Suddenly, a huge fire erupted in front of them. Then, countless fire crows appeared and attacked Six Paths. Six Paths' pupils constricted as he punched. Six Paths' fist shattered everything. Many fire crows turned into bloody mist. However, there were too many fire crows. Six Paths was terrified. He was no match for them and quickly retreated. He left the valley, wanting to enter the valley by himself. Wasn't he overestimating himself a little too much? At that moment, a cold laugh came from afar. Then a few people walked over. The leader was a man, and behind him were two old men and a middle-aged woman. There were not many people, but they were extremely calm. "Who are you?" Six Paths frowned. The two young men were indeed shocked. They were from the Skyfire race. The people in front looked at the two young men and snorted. "Who are you?" "It's the Leaf Fire race. You can't enter with just the few of you." The Leaf Fire race quickly scram. The two young men were so scared that they did not dare to speak. They were no match for the other party. The other party was from the Skyfire race. They were extremely powerful. Six Paths was angry. "You want us to leave? You want us to leave?" The man from the Skyfire race laughed. "I know why you're here. Aren't you looking for the Sun Palace? Let me tell you, we actually have some clues." "Oh, you know?" Lin Xian was shocked. Six Paths snorted coldly. "Since you know, just say it." "Ha ha." The man from the Skyfire race laughed. "You want to know? You don't have the right. We only sell clues to those with strength. As for the Leaf Fire race, you don't have the strength even if you pay 10 times the price. You're courting death." Six Paths was furious. The other party thought that they were from the Leaf Fire race. Unfortunately, he was not. Lin Xian was not either. Six Paths' fist punched out. It pierced through heaven and earth. The man from the Skyfire race's pupils constricted. He was originally disdainful of the Leaf Fire race. However, the other party's punch was too terrifying. It was not the ultimate skill of the Leaf Fire race at all. "Damn it, you're not from the Leaf Fire race." He quickly retreated. An old man behind him walked out. He struck out with his palm. Terrifying flames shone brightly, illuminating the surroundings. It collided with Six Paths' fist. An earth-shattering sound rang out. Then they both took 3 steps back. The old man's arm trembled as he sucked in a cold breath. The Six Paths frowned. His fist was scorched black by the fire. It seemed that the old man was not weaker than him, If they really fought, it would be hard to tell who would win. Seeing this, the young man from the Skyfire race laughed again. So, what if you're not from the Leaf Fire race? You can at most fight against an elder. We have 2 experts on our side. Can you fight against them? Chapter 5180. The people of the Skyfire tribe were confident that they would be able to defeat the other party. Damn it. The scattered Six Paths was enraged, and his face turned cold. Lin Xian walked out and waved his hand, saying, "Let me do it." The scattered Six Paths lowered his head. "Please forgive me. I am useless." Lin Xian shook his head. "Don't worry." He walked forward and said, "Lead the way, and I will spare your lives." "Who are you?" The Heavenly Fire Prince frowned and stared at the other party. "You don't even dare to show your face?" "Buzz," he sneered. Suddenly, he saw the black-robed man raise his head, and a golden light flashed in his eyes. In the next moment, he held his head and screamed. A strong soul power surged into his mind. It wanted to tear his soul apart. Not good. It's a soul attack. Protect the young master. The 2 elders beside him roared. At the same time, the middle-aged woman waved her hand, and a flaming sword shot towards Lin Xian. With a clang, Lin Xian stretched out 2 fingers and flicked it. The flaming sword shattered, and the woman's arm turned into pieces. She screamed as she retreated. So strong. She was terrified. The other 2 elders also looked like they were facing a great enemy. "Who are you?" "Buzz." As soon as he said that, his pupils dilated, and he realized that the black-robed man had disappeared. When he reappeared, he was behind him. A hand grabbed his head. "I don't like nonsense. I have given you a chance. If you don't cherish it, you can go to hell." With a wave of his hand, the other party's soul was destroyed. The elder fell to the ground. Is he dead? The remaining people's pupils constricted. The other party had killed one of their elders with a single move. That's too scary. Retreat. They quickly retreated. Lin Xian sneered. "You want to leave now?" Another 2 fingers pointed forward. Demonic god finger. The other elder spat out blood. His forehead was pierced, and he died again. Only the Heavenly Fire Prince and the middle-aged woman were left. The middle-aged woman said, "Don't kill us. We admit defeat. We will lead the way. Kneel down and submit." Lin Xian's expression was cold. He didn't kill them. Instead, he used an eye technique on them. Their souls were in intense pain, and they wanted to resist. Lin Xian said that those who resisted would die. The 2 of them didn't dare to resist, and an imprint was planted in their souls. In the next instant, the golden light disappeared from Lin Xian's eyes. The 2 of them lowered their heads respectfully and greeted the young master. "Lead the way." Lin Xian waved his hand. The 2 of them stood up and led the way. "Come here," said Six Paths. The 2 youths from the Leaf Fire race followed. They were dumbfounded. That black-robed man was too powerful. After all, those were 2 elders of the Skyfire clan. No matter how powerful he was, he couldn't even withstand 2 moves from his opponent. Could it be that this black-robed man only had a young voice, but was actually an incomparably terrifying old monster? Their scalps went numb. At this time, the 2 of them felt a wave of sleepiness sweep over them, and they closed their eyes. He fell to the ground. Lin Xian waved his hand and erased a part of their memories. Then he tore open a crack and sent the 2 of them away. "Leave this place. Solar God Palace isn't a place you can come to." The 2 of them no longer had any memories of him. Lin Xian didn't kill the 2 of them and sent them away safely. Then he continued to move forward. The 2 from the Skyfire clan led the way. The 2 of them had completely submitted, so they told him everything they knew. It wasn't the first time they had led the way. They waited near the valley to lead the way for the experts. Of course, it wasn't free. They had to pay a great price. However, they met Lin Xian this time and kicked an iron plate, so they were subdued. Previously, many experts had already entered. Moreover, they had said that they definitely weren't the ones who knew the clues, so there should be more people going to Solar God Palace than expected. Lin Xian also knew this. After all, those who could come here were all experts, and no one was weaker than anyone else. So what if there were more people? He had to get what he wanted. Countless people were searching for Solar God Palace, but on this day, they were shocked. The reason for that was because they had discovered that some extremely powerful individuals were walking over. One of them was surrounded by demonic chi, as if he walked out from hell. Heavens! It was the 9 Underworld Demon King from the Z Mansion. He was a figure from 10,000 years ago, and he actually came. There was another person who was surrounded by golden flames and had powerful wings that covered the sky. Once he appeared, the entire sun boiled, and countless people were terrified. The people from the Golden Crow clan laughed heartily. Great, it's our Golden Crow clan's Golden Fire Saint. He is here. This time, we will definitely win. After that, a man with a battle saber on his back descended from the sky and tore everything apart. The surrounding flames of the sun were all extinguished. The Sky Rock clan's expert, the Sky Feather Saber Sovereign. There was another person who was surrounded by powerful flames and had the aura of a dragon. It was the Scarlet Flame Dragon Sovereign. One after another, terrifying figures appeared on the sun. Countless people were shocked. The ones who came this time were all extremely powerful saints who would be able to contend against them. Apart from them, the elders of the various clans and sects also arrived. They might not have titles, but their strength was not to be underestimated. After all, they had lived for countless years. Once they used their trump cards, it would be shocking. The arrival of these people allowed them to use their great divine abilities, allowing them to find clues. Let's go. All of a sudden, these people set off in the direction of Solar God Palace. Lin Xian didn't know that these people were coming, but he guessed that there were many experts. At this moment, their speed was very fast. With the people from the Skyfire race leading the way, they were unobstructed. Finally, they sensed a vast and primordial aura. The power was frightening, and Six Paths took a deep breath. He could feel the immense pressure. This wasn't an ordinary flame. It was the sun god fire, the palace of a great emperor. The aura on it was enough to make him revere it. Lin Xian squinted his eyes. As expected of something left by a great emperor, the aura was shocking even from so far away. He hoped that the purple sun god fire would be able to dissolve his curse. After walking for another 3 days, the 2 people in front stopped. Young Master Heavenly Fire said, "Young Master, Solar God Palace is in front, but we don't dare to go over. It's too terrifying. With our strength, we can't withstand it." Lin Xian squinted his eyes and looked up at the sky. He realized that there was indeed a huge palace in front of them. Although it was still an illusion, it was much more solid. The 2 people were walking forward, but they couldn't stop him. Moreover, he had already controlled their souls. They wouldn't dare to lie. So, he said, "You 2 should stay here." He walked forward, and the 2 people stayed there respectfully. Six Paths thought for a long time, then gritted his teeth and followed. Finally, the illusion of a palace appeared in front of them. There was endless Tao of fire on it. The terrifying divine fire was burning. It was as if the palace of the fire god had descended on the sun. Chapter 50-181. Standing in front of the sun god palace, everyone seemed to become small and insignificant. The Six Paths' forehead was covered in cold sweat. It was too terrifying. It was as if he was facing a ferocious beast. Taking a deep breath, The two of them walked in. The Six Paths body was surrounded by powerful laws to block the attack. Lin Xian was very calm. Even in front of the Sun God Palace, he was still not afraid. The two of them walked in. After entering, they saw a vast hall. Many people were watching inside. When they heard someone coming in, the people in front suddenly turned around. Their eyes were like blades, piercing through everything. Someone else came. Who was it? They were facing a great enemy. After all, everyone here was their opponent. They first saw a black-robed man standing there. There was a mysterious aura on him. This made them frown. Who was this person? They wanted to investigate, but they found that he seemed to be isolated from everything. They couldn't investigate. This person seemed to have a treasure on him. Soon, they looked at the Six Paths Supreme Sage. They all knew this person. He was quite famous. Could it be that this black-robed man was from the Six Paths sect? At this moment, someone sneered. Humph, Six Paths, you're quite famous. But this isn't a place you can come. This person had a powerful aura. He was an elder of the Skyfire clan and was very strong. He was very strong and had reached the level of a saint. Then he frowned. What's wrong with the people outside? Why did they let such a person in? Should I kill him? Some people walked over. They were all powerful people. Some people frowned. Forget it. These two ants aren't worth our time. Let them come in and investigate. What if they really found something? We'll just snatch it. They were confident that they could control these two people. So they ignored them and began to search on their own. Lin Xian and the Six Paths also looked around. There seemed to be many passages in this hall that led to different places. At this moment, Lin Xian's eyes flashed with golden light. He carefully investigated these passages. He walked toward one of them. After entering, he found that the passage led to a place that looked like a garden. This can't be a medicinal field, right? Six Paths was shocked. He searched carefully. Hearing these cries of surprise, the others also rushed over, each and every one of them overjoyed. Heaven was really a medicinal field. Get out of my way, you two. They roared and rushed over. However, they soon began to roar. Damn it! These spirit medicines had already withered and could not be used at all. From the looks of it, it had existed for too long. These experts shook their heads and sighed. They paid no more attention to him. Lin Xian walked up and grabbed all of the withered spirit herbs. It even took some of the seeds with it. Others felt that it was a pity, but he had the sword world, so he might be able to put these things in. It could even regrow and grow again. After all, the sword world was extremely mysterious. When the other saints saw this scene, they immediately shook their heads. This brat was collecting these withered spiritual herbs. What could it be? He still wanted to let them take root and sprout again? Stop joking. None of us can do it. How could he do that? Who did he think he was? It was the reincarnation of the great emperor. These people sneered. Lin Xian remained unmoved. In the end, Lin Xian even cut off the entire herb field and took it away. No one stopped him during the entire process, which made him happy. A group of fools. These people actually did not know about the good stuff in front of them and even mocked him. Humph, when these spirit medicines grow, their hearts will probably bleed. After keeping the herb field, Lin Xian left and returned to the main hall. He was preparing to explore the other tunnels. The surrounding people also began to try. These tunnels might be connected to some mystical place. Heavens, what is this? What a terrifying flame. Suddenly, a cry of surprise came from one of the tunnels. Immediately after, the saint from the Heaven Fire race retreated. His body was slightly charred. The others all gathered around and cried out in alarm. What had happened? The saint from the Heaven Fire race frowned. In the tunnel, there was an extremely powerful flame energy. I was forced out by him. Everyone was shocked. The power of the flames from the heaven fire races Saint was terrifying. He was actually forced out. It was imaginable how dangerous the flames inside were. They said, "Don't be in a hurry. Let's go to the other tunnels first." Looking at these people, they began to explore the other tunnels. But they realized that there were indeed good things in these tunnels, but they were all damaged. For example, he found a tunnel that led to the weapon pavilion. There were many weapons in there, which made people happy. However, as soon as one of the experts grabbed a sword, the sword was instantly reduced to ashes. Even the other weapons were shattered and scattered on the ground. Even though it was just a fragment, the light on it had disappeared. This made countless people sigh. Damn it, the weapons collected by the great emperor were so precious. If there was one, even if it wasn't an extreme weapon, it would surpass a legendary saint weapon. There was another person who found the book pavilion, which had many ancient books. He was wild with joy and wanted to take them away. But as soon as he moved, the ancient books were scattered with the wind. That expert was so heartbroken that he cried. Damn it, there were so many exceptional techniques and abilities. Were they all gone? The other tunnels were the same. For a moment, there was only one tunnel left in the main hall. That was the tunnel with the terrifying flames. During this process, Lin Xian and the Vagrant Six Paths also walked through it. The Vagrant Six Paths kept sighing throughout the entire process. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes and frowned. Hell Fire Dragon. How many tens of thousands of years ago was Great Emperor Ziyang? The Hell Fire Dragon said, who knows more than 100,000 years ago. Plus, this was just one of his palaces. It was normal for those things to be destroyed. Don't worry about those weapons. Hurry up and see if there's any purple sun godly fire. As for the others, you can at most feel the great Tao aura left behind by Great Emperor Ziyang. More than 100,000 years, maybe even longer. Those weapons and elixirs really didn't exist anymore. One should know that the legendary saint weapons could be passed down because the clan of the ancients worshipped them like treasures. Many saints used their lives to protect those elixirs, and they spent a lot of effort to cultivate them. But this palace was different. Inside this palace, there wasn't even a single person who was more powerful. Most likely, it would also disappear with the passage of time. But the tunnel filled with flames made him happy. Could that be the purple sun, godly fire? Lin Xian walked forward. The other saints in the main hall also frowned. They were discussing whether they should work together to enter the tunnel of flames. At this moment, they were stunned. They discovered that a figure was walking forward. Who was it that didn't know the meaning of death? Soon, they saw that it was the black-robed man. Was it that guy from the Six Path School? Did he think that he could enter alone? What a joke. They snorted. The vagrant Six Paths followed beside him, feeling the piercing gazes behind him. But Lin Xian was very calm. He took a deep breath and rushed forward. The Six Paths loose cultivator followed, closely behind. Chapter 50-182. After Lin Xian entered, he felt a shocking flame energy sweeping towards him. It was as if it wanted to burn him to ashes. He snorted coldly and unleashed the power of his divine body as he strode forward. At the same time, he slashed open the void with his palm. This guy can actually withstand it. How did he do it? The sane experts at the back were all shocked when they saw this scene. Damn it, follow him. If there are treasures inside, we won't let him take them all. These people quickly followed behind him. Ahead, Lin Xian continued forward. The Six Paths beside him frowned when he sensed the scene behind him. Young master, he's using us to pave the way. Lin Xian said that it was fine. He knew very well what the people behind him were up to. He wouldn't let them succeed. Let's go in first. After entering, there was a large hall inside. The temperature of the flames was terrifying. There were flame runes on the surrounding walls. There was a pill furnace at the front of the hall. There was a pill fragrance coming from the pill furnace. Lin Xian's eyes lit up when he entered. There are pills? The Six Paths was also shocked. This faint fragrance. He took a deep breath and felt the power in his body boil. This can't be an immortal pill, right? He was shocked. The sages behind him were also shocked. Great. A person rushed over in an instant. Scram. Lin Xian punched out. The resplendent light of his fist was like the sun. Immediately, the figure was sent flying. His body was pierced and torn into pieces. He screamed and quickly retreated. Despicable guy, you dare to hurt me? The surrounding people were also stupefied. That was a saint. He was actually injured by a single punch. This was too unbelievable. Who was this person? Lin Xian waved his sleeve and tore open a crack in the void to stop those people. He said loudly, "You used my power to pave the way so you could reap the benefits. What a good plan. But don't you think you're too naive? Now just stay there and watch. Whoever dares to come over, I will send them to hell." Lin Xian said coldly. The faces of the experts behind him were cold and gloomy. You alone dare to threaten all of us? Are you out of your mind? Let's kill him together. Boom. As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Xian coldly harumphed. He pointed out a finger, which transformed into a peerless divine sword, and attacked forward. The person who spoke had his glabella shattered, and his soul was injured. He screamed and retreated. How dare you team up with others to attack me? Do you think I don't dare to kill you? Lin Xian's eyes shone with a terrifying light. Kill. The power of his soul rushed out. That saint roared. You dare? He raised his head and roared. His hands opened and closed, turning into countless saber lights. Every single one of them carried an extremely powerful law. As they slashed down from the sky, a great battle instantly broke out. Lin Xian was not afraid. Previously, when Lin Xian's strength increased, he was already able to contend against a saint. But later on, Lin Xian obtained the Dragon Prince's flesh, which contained supreme power. During this period of time, Lin Xian had absorbed it, and his strength had undergone a tremendous change. Regular saints were not a match for him. This person might be terrifying, but his strength was only average among the saints. At this moment, how could he be a match for Lin Xian? The battle ended quickly, and that person was smashed into pieces. His soul was pierced by the flames, and he screamed miserably in the air. He quickly fell. Everyone in the surroundings felt their blood run cold. A saint had died just like that? They didn't dare to believe it. Who exactly are you? The Six Dao sect already sent such an expert? Then why don't you dare to show your true face? Lin Xian stood with his hands behind his back and spoke coldly. Who am I? You don't have the qualifications to know. Get lost, or I will kill without mercy. Damn it. These people gritted their teeth. Someone transmitted a message, telling them to attack together. However, the person who transmitted the message was killed by Lin Xian. Another saint had fallen. The surrounding people were going crazy. Everyone be careful not to transmit messages. That person's soul spirit was extremely powerful, and he could hear our soul spirit transmissions. Everyone's scalp went numb. Everyone had the intention to join forces, but there was no one who initiated it. They didn't dare to. No matter who initiated it, the other party would immediately kill them. This was intentionally breaking their alliance. For a moment, their faces turned ugly, and they didn't rashly make a move. But they didn't leave. At the same time, a few figures walked out from the sun god shrine. One of them had overflowing demonic chi, and another had terrifying flames. They were all powerful saints. They were extremely powerful and weren't comparable to regular saints. When they arrived at the sun god shrine, they saw many tunnels and quickly searched. They soon returned. There was nothing in those tunnels. Even if there were some things, they were all shattered due to the power of time. They couldn't be used. These experts looked forward. There were flames in that tunnel, and there were even auras that were swaying. There was obviously someone. Let's go. The few of them tore the void and rushed over. Inside the alchemy cauldron, the atmosphere was extremely tense. Lin Xian alone had frightened a group of experts. Those experts clenched their teeth. Damn it, don't be too arrogant. Do you want to monopolize all the immortal pills here? Six Paths Gate, you're too much. Do you really think we can't deal with you? These people clenched their teeth and prepared to send a signal to gather their companions and attack together. But at this moment, the void behind them shattered, and a few figures rushed over. At the same time, there was an astonishing power. Ha ha! There is indeed something here. My trip here wasn't in vain. What a fragrant aura! Could it be an immortal pill? It seems like an immortal pill refined by a Dharch. Cold light burst out from their eyes. More people came. The faces of the previous saints changed. They were overjoyed. This time, they could unite more people to fight against the black-robed man. Fellow Taoist, let's join forces. That's right, the guy in front is too despicable. Let's suppress him together. These people quickly shouted, but the person who came in snorted. Join forces? Who do you think you are to join forces with me? Scram. Or you will die without a burial place. When these words came out, the entire hall became quiet. Those saints were stunned. Who is so arrogant? Why is he even more despicable than the black-robed man? Sky Fire Sage's face turned gloomy. Aren't you going overboard? He struck out with his palm, and the person behind him walked out from the passageway. Are you courting death by attacking me? Similarly, he struck out with his palm. Both of their palms were burning with flames. Under countless gazes, they collided. A deafening sound rang out as the fire nomological laws danced in the air. Kacha! Sky Fire Sage was sent flying. One of his arms had been shattered. He fell to the ground and vomited large mouthfuls of blood. An ant that couldn't even withstand a single blow. The figure behind him sneered. The surrounding people were stunned. Who was it? So powerful. Another peerless expert had appeared. They looked over. Chapter 5183. In the next moment, they cried out in surprise. That was because they saw a man surrounded by flames walking out. It had a pair of golden wings on its back, which gave off a powerful and scorching aura. It was an expert from the Golden Crow clan. Many people were shocked. Not only that, their scalps went numb because they realized that this was not an ordinary expert of the Golden Crow clan. It was a famous expert of the Golden Crow clan, the Golden Fire Saint. No wonder the elders of the Skyfire clan were defeated. The Skyfire clan was much weaker than the other party. The elder of the Skyfire race stood up and healed his broken arm. His expression was ugly. So it was fellow Taoist Golden Fire. I didn't know it was you, so I've offended you. He quickly apologized and retreated to the side. I'll spare your worthless life. If you dare to go against me again, I'll destroy your soul. The Golden Fire Sage snorted coldly. He stood there with his hands behind his back and looked around. Soon he stared at the pill furnace in front of him, and an extremely cold light burst out from his eyes. He had to get the pills inside. When he saw Lin Xian and Six Paths, he frowned. The two of you get out of here. Otherwise, I'll destroy your souls. The elder of the Skyfire race said quickly, Fellow Taoist Golden Fire, these two people are very arrogant and want to take the treasure for themselves. The two of them are from the Six Taoist Gate and are very strong. Fellow Taoist, be careful. After the Golden Fire Sage heard this, he frowned. He still dared to take the treasure for himself? Humph. So what if it's the Six Taoist Gate? Since it dares to go against us, it will definitely die. Who would dare to monopolize the treasure? At this moment, Another cold voice sounded. A second figure walked out of the tunnel. What followed was a terrifying aura. The entire hall darkened. Everyone's bodies swayed. As they quickly retreated, Lin Xian also frowned. What a familiar aura. The Six Paths cultivator's face paled. What terrifying demonic chi. Were they from the demon race? The figure that walked in was clad in black armor, and the demonic aura around him was overwhelming. He was as tall as a demon god, and as soon as he entered, he suppressed the surroundings. The experts at the side cried out in alarm. The 9 Nether Demon King. He actually came too. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. The 9 Underworld's Devil Monarch was from the Z government, an expert from 10,000 years ago. Back then, he had been sealed in ice, and now that he had awakened, he did not expect to be here too. The Golden Fire Saint snorted coldly. 9 Underworld's Demon King. You don't cultivate the sun flames of the purest yang, right? What are you doing here? The 9 Netherworld Demon Emperor said coldly. He was here to search for treasures and opportunities. He wanted to see if Martial Monarch Ziyang had left any successions behind. He didn't see the cultivation technique, but he did see the immortal pill. Another voice rang out. Everyone in the main hall was stunned. This time, they saw 2 figures arrive one after the other. Their auras weren't any weaker than the 9 Nether Demon Monarchs. This made them panic. It seemed like they had no chance. Elder Tianhua and the rest looked at Lin Xian and sneered. They had no hope, and neither did the black-robed man in front of them. Just watch, the other party will definitely die. Of the 2 people who came in later, one of them was surrounded by a powerful light and had a saber on his back. It was the Heavenly Feather Saber Monarch, an expert of the Heavenly Rock race. The people behind him strode forward like dragons and tigers. The flames on their bodies transformed into the shadow of a dragon as they roared towards the sky. An expert of the 10,000 Dragons Court, the Red Flame Dragon Monarch. The arrival of the 4 experts made the surrounding people feel despair. With the 4 of them here, the others had no hope at all. After the Sky Featherblade Monarch arrived, he looked ahead and exclaimed, Martial Monarch Ziyang was someone from tens of thousands of years ago. The other things he left behind were all broken. He didn't expect there to be a pill furnace here. If the pill furnace was complete, it would definitely be an immortal pill. After I eat it, I might be able to break through and become a peak-grade saint. It's mine. The Red Flame Dragon Monarch said firmly. The Golden Fire Saint frowned. You guys seem to have forgotten that the sun is the territory of the Golden Crow race. The things here naturally belong to the Golden Crow race. The few of them we're discussing here. A terrifying aura spread out in all directions. The other saints retreated to the side. They didn't have the right to speak. The Six Paths Wanderer's face was extremely ugly. He said softly, Young Master, why don't we retreat? These people weren't ordinary saints. They were extremely terrifying, especially the 9 Nether Demon Monarch. He was someone from tens of thousands of years ago. His methods were extremely powerful. No worries. Lin Xian shook his head. He wouldn't leave. He was here to find the Purple Sun Divine Flame. There might be a wisp of the Purple Sun Divine Flame in this pill furnace. He had to get it. As for the pill furnace, he would take it if there was one inside. He urgently needed power. Therefore, he turned around and looked at the pill furnace. The 4 great sages were still discussing and even arguing at the back. Suddenly, the Golden Crow sage shouted angrily, Damn it! How dare you touch the pill furnace? I'll make you wish you were dead. The Heavenly Featherblade Monarch also said, I think we should divide the things inside equally. The 4 of them were afraid of each other. If they really fought, it would be hard to determine the winner in a short time. They might even get injured, and let the others benefit. Therefore, they decided to divide the things inside equally. Since they had finished discussing, the Golden Crow sage looked forward and said coldly, "People of the Six Paths sect, I'll give you a chance. Leave this place, and I won't kill you." The Six Paths wanderer was so scared that he couldn't speak. Lin Xian looked back at them and said indifferently, "The things inside are useful to me. I want them. You guys can leave." His indifferent voice was like a clap of thunder. "He wants them." The surrounding experts sucked in a breath of cold air. Who would dare to say such words in front of the four saints? Is this black-robed man courting death? Could it be that he thought that he could contend against the four great saints? What a joke! Those people shook their heads. The elder of the Sky-Fire race revealed a sinister expression. "Humph, this kid will die without a doubt. That's for sure. Not only will he die, but he will also die miserably." The Golden Fire Saint was infuriated as well. "I wanted to spare your life. Since you want to die, don't blame us." The Golden Fire Saint army took a step forward, and the surrounding people also walked up. The Six Paths wanderer was suppressed by this force. He spat out a mouthful of blood and kept retreating. Cracks appeared on his body. "Ha ha!" Seeing this scene, the four saints sneered in disdain. Lin Xian couldn't even block their aura. How dare he talk so arrogantly? Aren't we thinking too highly of him if we attack together to kill such an ant? He's not qualified for us to attack together. The red flame dragon monarch snorted. The golden crow sage walked out and said, "Why don't I kill him?" "Don't worry. One move is enough." The others nodded. They weren't surprised. In their opinion, the people in front of them couldn't fight against them. The Golden Fire Saint walked out and looked at Lin Xian. He said coldly, "Die. I'll kill you with one move." He stretched out his palm. Lin Xian turned around, a cold glint in his eyes. "Are you challenging me?" Chapter 50-184. The Golden Fire Saint's face sank. What was the meaning of the other party's tone? He couldn't tolerate that condescending tone. "Who do you think you are? Die for me." He struck out with his palm, and the vast flames turned into a golden crow that flew forward. The power of this move was terrifying. The other saints couldn't block it at all, and would be instantly torn into pieces. As expected, when the surrounding experts felt this aura, they quickly retreated. It was too strong. They couldn't block the other party's palm. At the same time, they looked at Lin Xian and shook their heads. He wouldn't be able to block it either. "Golden Crow race? Courting death? I'll fulfill your wish." Lin Xian's eyes burst out with a cold radiance. Naturally, he could feel the powerful auras of these people. It was far stronger than the previous saints. But so what? He wasn't the same as before. After absorbing the Dragon Prince's power, his strength was much stronger than before. Furthermore, the things in the furnace were indeed very important to him. Therefore, no matter how dangerous it was, he wouldn't retreat. Boom! Lin Xian punched out. The Six Paths fist was incomparably vast and turned into 6 world phantoms. It danced and attacked the flaming palm. With a loud clang, a sky-shaking sound echoed. Endless flames danced and pierced through the void. The Six Paths fist was burned. That kid was definitely going to die. The surrounding people sneered. But soon, their smiles froze. Although the Six Paths fist was burning, its power didn't weaken. Instead, the surrounding 6 world phantoms erupted with power and tore the golden crow into pieces and suppressed it. Heavens, what did I just see? He had actually managed to block this attack. This guy's strength is so strong. Could it be that he's also a powerful saint? They exclaimed. Lin Xian sneered. The Golden Crow race was only SOSO. What qualifications did they have to say that? If you only have this much strength, I advise you to scram. You're courting death. The Golden Fire Saint's face turned cold. The other party could block his palm? It was truly out of his expectations. However, the other party wasn't qualified to challenge him. Wings of the Sun, A pair of wings flew out from the back and swept down with the power of the sun. This was also a powerful and peerless divine ability. The power of this palm strike was much more terrifying than the previous one. It was clear that he had only attacked casually before. Now he was angry and was going to be serious. Not good. The sixth-out cultivator exclaimed, "Young master, dodge." However, it was already too late. Two wings of the sun soared and arrived in front of Lin Xian, slashing down mercilessly. Lin Xian didn't dodge at all. The surrounding people laughed again. This time, it was time for him to die. That's for sure. Can't you see that he's already scared out of his wits and can't dodge at all? Unable to dodge. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. He didn't need to hide. He stretched out his hands and grabbed at the wings of the sun in front of him. Is this guy crazy? Is he trying to grab this weapon with his bare hands? He would be burned to ashes. What a fool. The surrounding experts sneered. The Golden Fire Saint was even more disdainful. The other party was too stupid. An earth-shattering sound rang out from the front as endless flames engulfed everything. That pair of hands, however, were like boulders grabbing the wings of the sun. How is this possible? How did he do it? What kind of physique was this? Was he still human? The surrounding people were stunned. The Golden Fire Saint's pupils contracted. The other three saints also frowned. This person's physique wasn't ordinary. Could it be that he cultivated the Six Paths physique? From the looks of it, this was a tough opponent. Lin Xian grabbed the wings of the sun with his bare hands and spoke coldly. The Golden Crow race was only SOSO. These words were the same as before, and it was already the second time he said it. The Golden Fire Saint's face was burning. He couldn't endure being slapped in the face twice. "Kid, go and die." He rushed over and descended like a fire god. His fist was enough to destroy everything. "Get lost!" Lin Xian yelled out in anger. He grabbed the wings of the sun and slashed back. There was a boundless power on it as it clashed with the opponent's fist. There was an earth-shattering sound as the Golden Fire Saint was sent flying. His palm split open and white bones could be seen. He actually suffered a loss. Damn it, he couldn't imagine. He was a powerful saint and was extremely powerful. Even if the other saints worked together, they wouldn't be able to beat him. But now, a black-robed man actually forced him to retreat. Who was the opponent? Was it a nobody? Despicable thing. You have completely infuriated me. No matter who you are, I won't let you off. The Golden Fire Saint was constantly forming seals as his entire body was burning. A mysterious rune appeared on his physique. In the next moment, an even more terrifying flame power burst out. Everyone retreated in fear, while Elder Tianhua exclaimed, "Golden Fire Physique." This was an extremely terrifying flame physique. The Golden Fire Saint's name came from this. This kind of physique possessed a powerful flame energy, as well as an indestructible strength. It could be said to be abnormally terrifying. At this moment, it was fully unleashed and engulfed everything. Lin Xian was also surprised. Oh, an extremely powerful physique. It seemed like these people were indeed powerful and weren't comparable to regular saints. If he didn't absorb the Dragon Prince's power earlier, he wouldn't be able to withstand it with his own strength. But now, it was different. Lin Xian's dragon blood was boiling. He had only absorbed 1/3 of the Dragon Prince's flesh and blood at most, but it was enough to cause an earth-shattering change. His dragon blood was even more terrifying than before, and his physique was also valiant. With a raise of his hand, he could destroy heaven and earth. Now, it was time to show his true power. Boom! In the next moment, the Golden Fire physique rushed over and attacked Lin Xian. Lin Xian punched out with the Six Dao Fist. The Six Dao Fist was extremely profound and had the power of reincarnation. Lin Xian used all his strength, and the 6 Tao fist turned into 6 illusory worlds that surrounded them. What was this? Such a terrifying reincarnation power. Who was this guy? Could it be that the sect master of the 6 Tao Gate came personally? They were shocked. It was their first time seeing such a terrifying reincarnation power. The Golden Fire Saint shuttled through the 6 worlds and attacked Lin Xian. He punched at Lin Xian and realized that Lin Xian didn't dodge. He was overjoyed. After activating his bloodline, how could Lin Xian go against him? But when he exchanged blows with Lin Xian, his arm went numb from the impact. What was up with Lin Xian's physique? He couldn't break through it. Could it be that Lin Xian also had a super strong physique? Damn it! The 6 Tao body, he roared crazily. Boom! Lin Xian's eyes shone with a golden radiance, and the reincarnation mountain appeared. It emitted a boundless reincarnation power. The 6 illusory worlds were even more terrifying, and they kept on spinning. It seemed like they were going to suppress Lin Xian. Not good. The faces of the spectators changed. Was the reincarnation power really going to send the Green Fire Saint into the 6 Tao reincarnation? The experts from before felt their scalps go numb. Luckily, they didn't make a move. Otherwise, they would have ended up in a terrible state. The 3 saints frowned as well. Lin Xian's strength was beyond their expectations. There was such a terrifying existence in the 6 Tao Gate. Chapter 50, 185. It seemed like the Golden Fire Saint couldn't take him down. We don't want to waste time. The blazing flame dragon god walked out. As an expert of the 10,000 Dragon Court, he was in a bad mood. The Dragon Prince was killed, and they didn't catch a single enemy. So he just wanted to end the battle quickly and get the treasure. Then he would go back and continue to kill those enemies. He didn't care about fairness anymore. He stepped out and walked forward. Was the blazing flame dragon god going to attack? The others also exclaimed in surprise. The 9 underworld demon king. And the others frowned, but didn't say anything. They didn't want to waste time either. But the 6 paths said that they were all powerful saints. Did he want to fight 2 against 1? Didn't he find it embarrassing? You don't have the right to teach me a lesson. The blazing flame dragon god scoffed. A sharp light shot out from his eyes and pierced through the 6 paths. The 6 paths spat out blood and flew back. 2 bloody holes appeared on his body. In an instant, he was heavily injured. Too strong. He couldn't even block 1 look. Could young master block it? He started to worry for Lin Xian. Lin Xian used his reincarnation power and the 6 paths fist to block the blazing flame dragon god's golden fire body. However, this time, he frowned because he discovered that there was another extremely terrifying aura in front of him that was charging toward him. It wasn't any weaker than the Golden Fire Saint. It also had a strong Dragon Dao aura. With a loud explosion, the 6 worlds were torn apart, and he was forced back. He took 3 steps back, his face pale. The Golden Fire Saint heaved a sigh of relief. He looked to the side. You are here too. Let's work together to kill him. As an expert, he didn't want to work together, but he was really annoyed. Not being able to take down Lin Xian made him lose face. Another one? Lin Xian narrowed his eyes and looked at the people of the 10,000 Dragon Court. So what? I will take all of you today. Crackling sounds came from his body. The 10,000 Dragon Court still had the mood to come here to search for treasures? Your prince is dead. Aren't you going to go back and cry? Damn it. You are asking for death. The blazing flame dragon god roared. This was a pain in their hearts, and they couldn't allow him to mention it. He roared angrily and charged over. The monstrous flames transformed into a fire dragon, blotting out the sky and covering the earth as it charged forward. Humph! Lin Xian coldly snorted and executed the six-path fist. The six worlds sealed the fire dragons separately, suppressing them with reincarnation. Me too. The golden fire saint attacked from the side. The two experts attacked together, besieging Lin Xian. For a moment, Lin Xian was in an extremely dangerous situation. This time, that brat was really dead. The surrounding people sneered again. Lin Xian indeed felt a great sense of crisis. He was being suppressed for a moment. Brat, what are you going to use to fight us? The red flame dragon monarch laughed viciously and attacked madly. Every punch could destroy the universe and starry sky. Lin Xian was beaten to the point where his qi and blood roiled, and he spat out blood. He was infuriated. He hadn't intended to reveal his identity. After all, his 9 yang divine body, the laws of yin and yang, and the demon emperor's ancient scriptures were too eye-catching. Once he used it, he would be discovered by others and recognized immediately. But now, he couldn't care less. He would use his strongest technique to obtain the pill furnace and then leave. Lin Xian roared angrily. Do you really think I'm afraid of you? With a cold shout, the power in his body erupted. Countless dragon silhouettes condensed behind him. A terrifying Tyrannosaurus Rex, a terrifying sword dragon, and a monstrous fire dragon. It was as if 10,000 dragons had awakened and stood above the 9 heavens. This power directly forced the red flame dragon monarch back. His qi and blood roiled. How is this possible? Are you from the dragon race? Who are you? The surrounding people were also stunned. Isn't he from the six-path sect? How can he use the dragon shadow? For a moment, they were all stunned. Lin Xian took advantage of this moment to turn around and slap the furnace. How dare you? Countless people shouted angrily. At this moment, the 4 great sages all attacked. The furnace shook from the impact, and the lid opened. Monstrous flames swept out, and a pill hovered in the air. The pill was as big as a walnut. Endless light, and the great Tao interweaved on it. It was exceptionally mysterious. After eating a pill refined by a dharch, they would benefit greatly. Kill. They charged over crazily. However, terrifying flames were sweeping out from the furnace. In an instant, it enveloped the entire pill refinement hall. Lin Xian quickly retreated, grabbed the six-path sect's loose cultivator, and threw him out. Run, young master, the six-path sect's loose cultivator exclaimed. However, he received an order in his mind, and did not dare to resist. He quickly escaped. The others did not escape. Their eyes were burning as they stared at the pill in front of them. Although the 4 great sages were here, they still had a chance, because they could see that the 4 great sages were not as united as one. As expected, the red flame dragon monarch grabbed the pill. It's mine. The golden fire great sage snorted coldly. How dare you? The heavenly feather saber lord also said from behind. Didn't we agree to split it evenly? He unsheathed his saber and slashed forward. Split it evenly? Don't you think it's ridiculous? The golden crow great sage snorted coldly. Scram, or don't blame me for being impolite. The 9 underworld's demon monarchs' killing intent swept over. How are you going to be impolite? The 4 of them fought and attacked each other. For a moment, they forgot about Lin Xian. Lin Xian stood outside the battlefield. Golden light flickered in his eyes. He was also very jealous of the pill. However, he knew that if he wanted to take the pill, he would be hunted down by the 4 great sages. It was not wise for him to do so. Moreover, he felt that the pill was very dangerous. However, he could not explain it clearly. He should take a look at the other flames first. He activated his eye technique and discovered that there was indeed a wisp of flame in the cauldron that kept jumping. The flames in the sky were all condensed from that wisp of flame. What a terrifying aura! Although it was only a wisp of flame, it carried astonishing power. That should be the purple sun divine fire, right? Lin Xian's eyes lit up. He had to get that thing. In the next moment, he rushed over. Damn it. How dare you? The golden fire great sage roared. Scram. Lin Xian swung the six-path fists and forced the other party to retreat. Stay. The heavenly feather saber, Lord, also roared angrily. Wherever the saber went, everything would be destroyed. Lin Xian slashed back, and the saber and sword collided. The heavenly feather saber, Lord's arm went numb from the impact, and his pupils constricted. Who are you? Is the other party's sword chi also so cold? Then the 9 underworld's demon king also charged over. Demonic chi filled the sky. 9 underworld's palm. He struck out with his palm, covering heaven and earth. The surrounding people almost fainted. Lin Xian's eyes lit up. Demon god seal. The demonic chi seemed to be even more terrifying than the 9 underworld's demon kings. At this moment, the other party had transformed into a demon god. With a clang, the 9 underworld's demonic palm was blocked. The 9 underworld's demon king's blood boiled, and his eyes lit up. You're from the demon race. The surrounding people went crazy. Who is this person? Powerful reincarnation power, terrifying sword chi, terrifying demonic chi, and the aura of the dragon race. Could it be? They thought of a possibility. Chapter 5186. They had a guess about the black-robed man's identity, but they were not sure. It couldn't be that person. Impossible. He was being hunted down by the 1,000 Dragon Court. How could he dare to appear here? They shook their heads. Lin Xian ignored them. After exchanging blows with the 3 great saints, he swung his sword. The flames that filled the sky swayed, and the elixir exploded with resplendent light. It was as if it had turned into a sun, shining in all directions. Everyone closed their eyes. It was too scary. What kind of pill was that? The pill shot up into the sky and danced in the air. The surrounding people attacked crazily. Lin Xian grabbed the pill furnace and put it away. How dare you? The red flame dragon god roared. He could feel the powerful flame energy in the pill furnace. If they could absorb it, it would definitely allow their fire laws to rise to the next level. The golden fire saint roared as well. Stay. The 2 of them charged forward again. Lin Xian snorted. This time he did not hold back. He had gotten what he wanted. There was no need to hold back. He took out the Hellfire Dragon Sword and the Great Destruction Spear and sent the 2 flying. This time, their bodies shattered, and they spat out mouthfuls of blood. Legendary sacred weapon. Damn it, you have 2 of them. The red flame dragon god roared. Lin Wuti, you are Lin Wuti. Now he could finally confirm that it was him. The surrounding people were shocked. The 9 underworld's demon king frowned. You dare to appear here? The red flame dragon god roared. Kill. Kill him. Let's kill him together. That's right. Let's do it. The golden fire saint's eyes burned with passion. The pill was good, but Lin Xian's treasures were better. He had the emperor's ancient scripture. Even the golden fire saint coveted the 9 yang divine body. The 9 underworld's demon king's eyes shone. Hand over the emperor's ancient scripture, and I will spare your life. The emperor's ancient scripture was related to demons. He needed it badly. Lin Xian sneered. You think you can do it? Do you have the right? Scram. If you don't want to die, leave. Otherwise, don't blame me for killing. Lin Xian took a step forward, scaring the surrounding people into retreating. Even the 3 great saints were frightened. There was no other way. Although the person in front of him was young, the things he had done were extremely terrifying. Who would dare to be careless when an imperial prince had died at his hands? This guy wouldn't have brought an extreme weapon with him, right? Could he be plotting something? Are there 3 other extreme grade weapons next to it? The surrounding people felt their scalps go numb. The Crimson Flame Dragon Monarch was also frightened. However, his eyes soon shone with a cold light. Impossible! We kept an eye on those people, and none of them left. This kid's extreme Dao weapon was in the Dragon Sea. He doesn't have the heaven-devouring jar on him. Let's see how he dies this time. Wang. As soon as he finished speaking, he screamed and retreated. Lin Xian used the demon shadow to attack his opponent. The other party's soul was severely injured. He spat out blood and was sent flying. Lin Xian attacked in a frenzy. Demon God's seal, Demon God's finger, 6-path fists. All of these attacks were launched in a frenzy. Powerful demonic shadows appeared as well. The body of the Scarlet Flame Dragon Monarch was shattered. He frantically retreated. Let's kill him together, he roared. The 9 Nether Demon Monarch turned around and grabbed the divine pill. Lin Wudy has a grudge against you, but it has nothing to do with me. I only want the divine pill. The Heavenly Feather Saber, Lord of the Heavenly Rock clan. He ignored him and charged over. The 2 of them chased after him. The divine pill shattered the void and flew out of the pill refinement hall. It even flew out of Sun God Palace. For a moment, endless light erupted. The aura of the pill fragrance swept in all directions. At this moment, the people on the sun were all alarmed. They looked up at the sky. What was the sky? It was a pill that flew out of Sun God Palace. A pill. Could it be refined by a great emperor? Look, there are 2 great saints following him. Let's hurry up and snatch the immortal pill. These people had all gone crazy, covering the sky and covering the earth as they chased after him. A great battle broke out. Dao Lord Heavenly Feather and the 9 Nether Demon Monarch were fighting. After all, the 9 Nether Demon Monarch was a figure from 10,000 years ago. He was very powerful. He summoned the 9 Nether Gate and forced the Heavenly Feather Saber Lord to retreat. The Heavenly Feather Saber Lord summoned the experts of the Heavenly Rock clan to support him. The people of the Purple Mansion also came over. There were even more clan of the Ancients and peerless sects fighting. However, the sun-like pill was too terrifying. It left the sun and flew into the depths of the universe. These people followed it all the way. A great battle broke out in the universe. At the same time, there were still some people left in the pill refinement hall. The Blazing Flame Dragon Monarch didn't leave. He stared at Lin Xian. The Golden Fire Sage didn't leave either. After weighing the pros and cons, he decided to kill Lin Xian and obtain the Great Emperor's ancient scripture. The Blazing Flame Dragon Monarch gritted his teeth and said, "Taoist Golden Crow, help me stop him. I'm going to use a secret technique. This secret technique is very powerful, but it will take some time. Don't worry after I suppress him. I'll give you a share of the 9 Yang divine body and the Great Emperor's ancient scripture." "Really? That's great." The Golden Fire Sage's eyes shone with a sharp light. The Blazing Flame Sage looked at the people around him. "You guys go too. When the time comes, I'll give each of you a Great Emperor's divine ability." The eyes of the people around him also turned red. Although it wasn't a complete ancient scripture, as long as they could learn a great divine ability, it would be a shocking fortune for them. These people's eyes also turned red as they surrounded Lin Xian. Among them, there were 7 experts, including the Sky Fire Race's elder. In an instant, they surrounded Lin Xian from all directions. Lin Xian could be said to be very dangerous. The Blazing Flame Sage retreated, his palms constantly forming seals. He didn't use any secret technique at all. Instead, he quickly contacted the 10,000 Dragon Court. As an expert of the 10,000 Dragon Court, he knew very well how difficult it was to kill Lin Xian. If he wanted to kill Lin Xian, he had to use an extreme weapon. His previous actions were just to buy him time. At this moment, he was trying his best to communicate with his family. Buried Emperor Star. The people of the 10,000 Dragon Court were still searching around. Suddenly, they received news. An ancestor's eyes shone with a shocking light. They found Lin Wudi's whereabouts. As soon as he said that, the other experts also flew over. Where is he? Who found him? The blazing flame dragon monarch found him in the Sun Palace above the sun. What? That guy is too daring. Is he looking down on us? We're chasing him everywhere, but he still dares to go to Sun God Palace to search for treasures. The people of the 10,000 Dragon Court were so angry that they vomited blood. What should they do? These people discussed. An old ancestor said, "Men, what about the other extreme Dao weapons? What do you think? Where is the heaven-devouring jar?" The others reported back to the ancestor. There was no movement. The heaven-devouring jar was still in the Black Sea. What? Is that true? Lin Xian didn't call anyone, and went alone. He was courting death. The eyes of those ancestors erupted with a cold light. Without the heaven-devouring jar, he only has the great dragon sword soul, but I think he doesn't have enough strength to fully recover. Even if he does, how many times can he recover? Kill him. Use all your strength. Fully recover the 10,000 dragon diagram. Attack Sun God Palace. Chapter 5187. The 10,000 Dragon Dynasty quickly gave the order, and countless resources gathered. They went all out to revive the 10,000 Dragon diagram. 10,000 dragons roared and swept across the 9 heavens. At this moment, they flew high into the sky, and the entire buried Emperor Star sensed it. They looked up at the sky and saw countless dragon phantoms galloping in the sky. They were shocked. Heavens, it was the 10,000 dragon diagram. The apex weapon had fully awakened. At this moment, countless living beings prostrated on the ground. They couldn't believe it. Had the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty gone crazy? Who were they attacking this time? The people from the Tao sect and Divine Union were terrified. Was it targeting them? These people were facing a great enemy. On the other side, on the Demon Sovereign Mountain, Yen Ruyu and Monkey were also shocked. They had also awakened their Emperor weapons and activated their apex weapons. The Phoenix Clan. Morong Chingching's expression changed, and he quickly summoned the Desolate Tower. The other Emperor clans, such as the Yi Clan and the Gu Clan, did the same. They used their apex weapons to defend. Those who didn't have their apex weapons activated their peerless array. No one knew what the other party was trying to do. In their opinion, it should be Lin Xian or someone related to Lin Xian. However, they were soon stunned because they discovered that the 10,000 dragon diagram had fully awakened. It was attacking the outer realm. What was going on? Were there experts in the outer realm? Everyone was stunned. They didn't understand. The 10,000 dragon diagram's full power attack flew towards the outer realm and towards the sun. At this moment, flames swept across the sun. Previously, many people had already left. Because of the appearance of an Emperor immortal pill, countless experts had gone to search for it. They had already left the sun. However, there were still some people who stayed here and had their eyes on Sun God Palace. However, at this moment, they discovered that countless dragon phantoms were rushing over. The aura they carried made them despair. No, these powerful sages couldn't hold on at all. They all prostrated on the ground. Some great sages roared crazily. Apex weapons. Damn it, who brought apex weapons here? Were they crazy? They didn't know. They didn't even have the chance to escape under such power. They could only pray in their hearts. The people in Sun God Palace also felt it. Among them, the Golden Fire Sage's face changed. Damn it, Why does he have an extreme Tao aura? The remaining people in the elixir hall went crazy. Even Lin Xian's pupils shrank. 10,000 dragons diagram. Damn it, it's you? The golden fire saint turned around and looked at the red flame dragon army. You lied to us. How dare you use the myriad dragons diagram? The crimson flame dragon monarch's light dimmed. He took out a scroll and crushed it. Endless void power enveloped him. Lin Wudi, go to hell. Boom. In the next instant, he disappeared. No, the golden fire saint and the other experts had also gone crazy. Run quickly. The abominable dragons. They now understood why the flaming dragon army had joined hands with them. He didn't want to share the treasures with them, but wanted them to pin down Lin Xian. That way, the other party would be able to report back to the family. Today's extreme weapons were the best proof. At this moment, they no longer cared about the martial monarch's ancient scriptures. All of them fled in a frenzy. His speed was extremely fast. Damn it! Lin Xian's face was cold. He knew that these people were dead meat. No one could escape. He knew the extreme weapons best, especially those that had fully awakened. To be honest, he didn't expect it. He originally thought that even if he revealed his identity, it would take a long time for the Thousand Dragon Empire to kill him. But he didn't expect the Crimson Flame Dragon Monarch to have such a treasure, to be able to lock his position in an instant, to be able to escape in an instant. It seemed that in order to kill him, every expert of the Thousand Dragon Empire had many trump cards. Lin Xian's great dragon sword Soul couldn't block the fully awakened power of the monarch weapon. In the next moment, he took a deep breath and entered the sword world. The moment the sword world opened, the Hellfire Dragon also flew over. What a terrifying aura outside. Is it an extreme weapon? Lin Xian nodded. Would this world be able to withstand it? The Hellfire Dragon's expression changed. This world is fine, but you can't. The world can be preserved, but your body will be destroyed. Let's see if there are any other treasures in the Sun God Palace. Lin Xian said that there was only one furnace, and there was a strand of God fire inside. The Hellfire Dragon said after seeing it, "Quick, hide in the furnace first, then enter the sword world." Will it work? Lin Xian shook his head. Unless it was an extreme weapon, it would be difficult to block it. There was no time to explain. Let's try it. I feel that this furnace is very magical. Would a great emperor use an ordinary pill furnace to refine pills? It was very likely that he refined it himself. All right, let's do it. Lin Xian took a deep breath and entered the furnace. He closed the furnace. Then he entered the sword world. In the next moment, an earth-shattering sound was heard. Endless cracks appeared on the sun. Those who were still in the sun instantly turned into a bloody mist. No matter if you were a mid-stage or late-stage great sage, you couldn't block it. The people in the Sun God Palace originally wanted to escape from this attack. But when they saw this scene, they ran back frantically. Quickly enter the palace. This was the Emperor's palace. Perhaps it could block it. The Golden Fire Sage and the elders of the Sky Fire clan all ran back. They found a corner to hide. The Sun Palace was naturally attacked by the extreme weapon. Endless flames appeared on it and swept through the 9 heavens. This was the palace built by the Emperor. It had mysterious power. At this moment, the sun was already broken into pieces, but the palace still existed. After all, this was the full recovery of the extreme weapon. This palace was only one of the Emperor's palaces. So in the end, cracks appeared on it. Some places collapsed. The extreme weapon's power rushed in. The Sky Fire Elder and the others screamed and turned into a bloody mist. They no longer existed. No, the Golden Crow Sage roared, crazily. His eyes were filled with despair. He wanted to escape, but in the next moment, he was also swallowed by the extreme weapons aura. His body was broken into pieces. He died unwillingly. The remaining people all died. Even the Sun Palace couldn't protect them. The Sun Palace kept shattering. Many places were already broken into pieces. The extreme weapon's power swept in all directions. Soon, it rushed into the pill refining hall. With a clang, the dragon's phantom hit the cauldron. The cauldron was sent flying. The flames on it dimmed, but it didn't shatter. Just as the Hellfire Dragon said, this cauldron was called the Purple Sun Divine Cauldron. It was a cauldron personally made by the Purple Sun Great Emperor for alchemy. Although it wasn't an extreme weapon, it was far superior to a sacred weapon. At this moment, under the extreme weapon's power, it actually blocked it. But this time, it wasn't an extreme weapon's power. More extreme weapons' power rushed in. The array and divine fire in the Sun God Palace resisted with all their might. It consumed some extreme weapons' power. But in the end, the entire palace was broken into pieces. Chapter 50, 188. Boom, boom. The sun kept shattering, and the Sun God Palace kept rumbling. It was torn apart. The purple sun divine furnace inside was violently impacted under the endless extreme power. The divine furnace started to cave in, and many parts of it were deformed. However, no one knew what material this divine furnace was made of. Even though many parts of it were caved in, there were no cracks. Lin Xian's blood was also boiling. Although he entered the Sword World and could avoid most of the power, this Sword World was very powerful. But this Sword World was very mysterious. The Sword World existed in his body. Therefore, he was different from the Hellfire Dragon and the others. He couldn't completely avoid it. This was also why the Hellfire Dragon let him enter the Purple Sun Divine Furnace. At this moment, Lin Xian was vomiting blood, and many cracks appeared on the 9 young divine body. The Hellfire Dragon and the 4 spirit beasts were all nervous. "Kid, are you okay?" The Hellfire Dragon said. "Sit on the spring of life." Lin Xian quickly sat on the spring of life, and a powerful life force enveloped him. Those cracks were quickly repaired. Lin Xian roared crazily. This pain was even more terrifying than his heavenly tribulation. However, the Hellfire Dragon laughed. "Kid, you're really lucky." The 4 spirit beasts said. "Is he okay?" The Hellfire Dragon said, "Should be fine." Think about it. No matter how strong a person is, when faced with an extreme weapon, his soul would be instantly destroyed. Have you ever seen a body like this that kept breaking and recovering? This meant that the furnace outside blocked most of the extreme aura. Hearing this, the 4 spirit beasts laughed. They could finally be at ease. Although Lin Xian's miserable cries came from the Sword World, his life was not in danger. The extreme aura between heaven and earth slowly disappeared, and many dents appeared on the Purple Sun Divine Furnace. However, it didn't break in the ruins. In the universe, countless people were shocked. They looked into the distance, where flames soared into the sky, and the entire universe was illuminated. Heavens, what happened? Look, millions of dragon shadows, each of them hundreds of thousands of meters long, swept across heaven and earth. It blotted out the sky and shrouded the entire sun. The heavenly feather blade monarch's pupils shrank, and he exclaimed, "Damn it, this is an extreme weapon. The 10,000 dragons diagram." "What?" the others also exclaimed. Did the 10,000 dragons court use an extreme weapon to attack? Could the solar energy be blocked? The 9 netherworld demon monarch and the others said. It was all thanks to that immortal pill that they managed to escape. At that moment, all of them were rapidly chasing after him. No one had been able to get their hands on the great emperor immortal pill, but now they were rejoicing. If they had not chased after him and stayed on the sun, he would have died long ago. Damn it. Some of the clans and sects roared madly. Back then, they had sent a portion of their people to chase after him, while the rest remained on the sun. Didn't that mean they were all dead? However, no one dared to return. While these people were sighing, the people of the buried Emperor's Star were stunned. What exactly was the 10,000 dragons' imperial court attacking? They still don't know. The ancestors of the 10,000 dragon dynasty looked into the sky. Was this enough? At this moment, a figure appeared before them. It was the Crimson Flame Dragon Monarch. What do you think? The Red Flame Dragon Monarch asked. He had fully recovered. The specific situation was unknown. Where was Lin Wuti? The Red Flame Dragon Monarch said that it was in the Sun Palace, which was the Emperor's palace. When the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty's old ancestor heard this, his face turned cold. The second attack was launched. Old ancestor, one time should be enough. The surrounding elders said, "That's right. Even for us, the Emperor race, the consumption is too great. We can't afford it." The elders gritted their teeth. However, the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty's old ancestors said that the Emperor's palace could block a portion of it. Moreover, that kid had the great dragon sword soul, who knew whether or not he could survive. If he fully recovered, no matter how many trump cards he had, he would definitely die. Don't worry, after this recovery, we won't use the 10,000 dragon diagram for a long time. The few old ancestors also knew that they had used up a lot of their family's resources over the years. They had to recuperate and replenish their resources. This was the last time they would go all out. All right, we got it, those elders. They took out endless resources to activate the second full recovery of the 10,000 dragon diagram. The light of the 10,000 dragons in the sky slowly disappeared. But at this moment, it suddenly exploded and swept the 9 heavens. The clans and sects on the buried Emperor's Star went crazy. Heavens, the 10,000 dragon diagram fully recovered for the second time. This attack was aimed at the outer region. Could it be that the other party was attacking the Sun God Palace? One had to know that something big had happened in the outer region. Only the Purple Sun Land's Sun God Palace could do it. Perhaps the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty wanted to obtain the things inside the Sun God Palace. However, there were also people who thought that it was a joke. Even if they wanted to obtain it, they shouldn't have fully recovered. Under this attack, all treasures would vanish into thin air. They couldn't understand. In the outer region, the 9 Nether Demon Monarch, Heavenly Feather Saber Monarch, and other experts were still fighting for the Emperor's immortal pill. Suddenly, endless dragon roars sounded. 10,000 dragon shadows swept through the world once again. Everyone's blood boiled. Some people were so frightened that they knelt on the ground. Heavens, the extreme Tao weapon had recovered again. Was it attacking them? No, it was attacking the sun. What was on the sun that made the nest of 10,000 dragons so crazy? Even if you want the Sun God Palace, you don't have to do this, right? The broken sun was attacked a second time and shattered into pieces, turning into countless specks of dust. The Sun God Palace was also completely shattered and could no longer hold on. In the ruins of the Sun God Palace, there were even more dents on the Purple Sun Divine Furnace. This time, it had completely changed shape, as if it had turned into a pile of scrap metal. In the sword world, Lin Xian was no longer roaring crazily. The cracks on his body were also slowly disappearing. The Hellfire Dragon and the others all heaved a sigh of relief. They knew that the power of the extreme Tao weapon outside had disappeared. But suddenly, Lin Xian's pupils constricted. He spat out a mouthful of blood. With a cracking sound, his body was torn into pieces, and an endless amount of golden dragon blood splattered between heaven and earth. What was going on? The sun spirit beast roared crazily. Even the Hellfire Dragon was stunned. That shouldn't be. With the spring of life, how could his body shatter? Could it be? Damn it. It was the second extreme Dao attack. The 10,000 Dragon Dynasty was really vicious. It was going to be difficult this time. He waved his dragon claw and sealed the sky full of golden saint blood. Then he waved his hand. Those life gods all exploded and quickly provided power. They protected Lin Xian's heart. Kid, it's up to you now. Even if that pill furnace could block the attack of the extreme Dao weapon once, it probably wouldn't be able to block the second attack. It was up to the heavens. After doing that, the Hellfire Dragon retreated to the side. The 4 spirit beasts were extremely nervous. Was he going to die? Because they realized that Lin Xian's body didn't recover at all. It didn't look better at all. Chapter 50, 189. In the universe, the sun had already disappeared. The light between heaven and earth dimmed. The phantoms of the 10,000 dragons also slowly weakened. But there was still some power left. That place would probably become a land of death. It would no longer exist. It was over. 9 underworlds demon monarch, Sky Featherblade monarch, and the others heaved a sigh of relief. The others also stood up. They looked at the Emperor Immortal Pill. They had to act quickly. If they were targeted by the 10,000 Dragons Court again, they would all die. They prepared to use their ultimate techniques. However, the pill shone brightly and suddenly spun and charged back. Not good. Quickly stop it. 9 underworlds demon monarch roared and unleashed the 9 underworlds door to seal heaven and earth. Sky Universe Blade Monarch unleashed a galaxy of blade light that shattered heaven and earth. However, it was useless. The pill tore through everything and flew into the distance. Chase. These people chased crazily and soon stopped. Damn it, they didn't dare to go anymore. That was because the medicinal pill was flying back toward the sun. The sun was filled with the aura of extreme Tao. No matter how strong they were, they didn't dare to go there. That damn pill, was it crazy? Why did it have to go back? He came from Sun God Palace. Sun God Palace was destroyed. Was he going to be buried with it? Countless crazy roars could be heard. The expressions of the 2 saints were also ugly. Let's go. 9 underworlds demon monarch was very decisive. The current situation was too strange. He couldn't interfere anymore. Sky Feather Dao Lord struggled and soon turned to leave. The others also fled. It was better to return to their families and figure out what was going on. Buried Emperor's Star. At this moment, it was also a little dim. The sun had shattered, and the surroundings fell into darkness. The living beings on the buried Emperor's Star were terrified. They felt a monstrous aura in the outer space that seemed to want to destroy the world. However, the remote antiquity families and great sects were frowning. What was the 10,000 Dragons Court doing? At this moment, a group of people who were alive in the outer space returned to their families. Patriarch, what happened? Why did the 10,000 Dragons Court attack the sun? That's right. Are they crazy? When the 2 sides met and told each other what they knew, they were all stunned. It seemed that the 10,000 Dragons Court had indeed attacked the sun. According to the people who came back, the sun had long been torn apart. It was estimated that the Solar God Palace inside the sun no longer existed. As for the Tianpeng race, the Violet Palace people were also clenching their teeth. Damn it, had the immortal pill also disappeared? You're saying that a pill flew out and then flew back. At this moment, everyone knew why the 9 Nether Demon Monarch and the others were still alive. It wasn't that these people could block the extreme grade weapon, but that they were lucky enough to dodge it. The clan leader of the Tianpeng race sighed. You are really lucky. As for the matter of the Great Emperor Pill, don't even think about it. By the time he returned, he would have already been reduced to ashes. Besides, Even if it was in perfect condition, we wouldn't be able to enter it with our strength. Only those monarch clans had such qualifications. It would be useless to go to the sun, now, unless he had a monarch weapon. Hearing the news from these people, the entire buried Emperor's star was shocked. After the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty's people received the news, they laughed loudly. It was to the extent where they personally sent people over to take a look, and they discovered that it really was the case. That place was split into pieces, and everything no longer existed. 10,000 Dragon Dynasty's old ancestor scoffed coldly and told the world that Lin Wuti was dead. He told the others to wait. You dare to go against the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty and kill our prince? This is your fate. We won't let a single one of you off. When this news spread, the people of the buried Emperor's star were stunned. Lin Wuti was dead? When? Wait, could it be that Lin Wuti was in Sun God Palace? They thought of a possibility and quickly confirmed that Lin Wuti had gone to Sun God Palace. Now, they finally understood why the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty had attacked Sun God Palace without caring about anything else. So, it was to kill Lin Wuti. Damn it, the people of our family were actually buried with Lin Wuti. The people of the Golden Crow race gnashed their teeth. The other ancient families and peerless great sects were also roaring. This was because half of the people they had sent didn't come back. These were all top-notch experts. How could they not be heartbroken that they had fallen just like that? Some people were puzzled. It couldn't be. Lin Wuti was so strong. How could he have fallen? He had a lot of trump cards in his hands. What? The Divine Union shook their heads. Impossible. Boss Lin definitely wouldn't have fallen. Yi Wudao. And the others also frowned. That kid should be fine, right? Monkey and Yenryu also frowned. However, the dragon race of the Black Sea let out a roar. Damn it, the Crimson Dragon's eyes were red. He had Lin Xian's Soul Jade token in his hand. However, cracks had already appeared on the Soul Jade token. What did this mean? Was Lin Xian dead? Damn it, the leader of the dragon race of the Black Sea said. It shouldn't be. Lin Gongzi had the great dragon sword soul in his hand. Could it be that he couldn't block it? The toad said that what was the use of having the great dragon sword soul? He didn't have any resources. He couldn't revive. Besides, the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty had already revived twice. Who could block it? Damn it, I shouldn't have taken the heaven-swallowing jar. The Crimson Dragon roared crazily. If the heaven-swallowing jar had been in Lin Xian's hands, Lin Xian definitely wouldn't have died. The people of the dragon race of the Black Sea also sighed. They had implicated Lin Gongzi. The Phoenix race. Morong Qingcheng waited anxiously. A Soul Jade token in her hand had also cracked. She panicked. Was Brother Xian really in danger? She hurriedly found the Crimson Dragon and found that there were also cracks on the Crimson Dragon's side. This time, Morong Qingcheng's eyes instantly turned red. She almost fainted. Allure. Many experts of the Phoenix race hurriedly supported him and fed him pills. Morong Qingcheng roared crazily. Let's go to the outer realm together. They want to investigate the Sun Palace. The Crimson Dragon escorted the people of the dragon race to the Demon Emperor Mountain. After all, the heaven-swallowing jar couldn't protect them forever. It was better to go to the Demon Emperor Mountain first. The Demon Emperor Mountain had the successor of the Azure Emperor, so it was very safe. Both sides were at peace for a while. After hearing this, Yenryu and Monkey's expressions changed. How is this possible? Damn it, I don't believe it. How could Brother Lin die? Yenryu said, I want to see it with my own eyes. He left his green lotus at the Demon Emperor Mountain. Then, a few people quickly soared into the sky and charged toward the outer realm. These people had several extreme weapons in their hands. They weren't afraid of extreme power at all. However, when they arrived, they were stunned, because they found that the sun had long disappeared. Instead, it had turned into a black hole. It was bobbing up and down. Damn it, we can't go in at all. Monkey's iron rod swept forward. Murong Chingching's desolate tower also tore through everything. However, the black hole seemed to be able to swallow everything. Yenryu frowned. The sun itself was a world. It contained endless power and shone brilliantly. Now that the sun was broken, its own power was enough to shatter everything, turning this place into nothingness. Chapter 5190. Brother Xian, how did this happen? Murong Qingqing shed tears. She was about to faint. The crimson dragon gritted his teeth. Damn it, it's all my fault. I shouldn't have taken the heaven-swallowing jar. Don't be anxious. Yenryu held the 2 soul jade pendants, her eyes shining. Although there were cracks on them, they weren't completely broken. This meant that Lin Xian hadn't completely died. He might still have a chance. That's right, Monkey said. Brother Lin had so many trump cards. This time, he might have been heavily injured. But as long as he didn't die, there would be a chance. Murong Qingcheng wiped her tears. Yes, Brother Xian wasn't dead. There was only a crack on it. We have a chance. The crimson dragon gritted his teeth. What should we do? Let's take revenge on the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty. Damn it, let them know how strong we are. After a short discussion, they decided to kill their way back. Anyway, they couldn't go to the sun now. Lin Xian was in danger, but there was still hope. The only thing they could do now was to attack the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty. The people on the buried Emperor Star were in an uproar. Lin Xian had died. They couldn't believe it. However, the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty's confidence shocked everyone. Could it be that Lin Xian had really died? First, it was Long Huangzi. Then it was Lin Wudi. 2 emperors had already died. Who was next? The battle between emperors was too cruel. Was he really dead? Yu Wudao couldn't believe it. He contacted the Crimson Dragon, Murong Qingcheng, and the others, but he couldn't reach them. The people of the Divine Union were crying. Bai Susu and the others were filled with despair. How could this be? The ancestors of the Dao sect were going crazy. They couldn't bear such an outcome. Dead. The Kuan-Peng race had complicated expressions. The Z Mansion, Gu family, and the others heaved a sigh of relief. Now that this peerless enemy was dead, they could finally be at ease. Qilin clapped his hands and laughed when he heard the news. Ha ha! The heavens are helping me. I don't need to do anything. 2 emperors had died. He was too happy. He had fallen. The Nalan clan, the Fire Dragon clan, the Duga clan, and the other clans that supported Lin Xian fell into despair at this moment. When the Dragon Prince died, they were attacked and hunted down by the 10,000 Dragon Court. Although they had suffered losses, they still had hope in their hearts, and that was Lin Xian. Once Lin Xian fully matured, he would be able to turn the tables around. But now, even Lin Xian had fallen. Then they would have no more hope. In the future, they would most likely face the endless pursuit of the 10,000 Dragon Court. The Dragon Sea clan, the Basket clan, and the Golden Crow clan were incomparably happy. They jumped out and said that Lin Wudi deserved to die. That was right. He dared to kill the Dragon Prince. He deserved to die. These families were very happy. However, at this time, a precious pagoda descended from the sky, causing the blue race to sway and many palaces to shatter. Some of the blue race's people had died. Damn it, who was it? The people of the blue race roared madly. On the other side, the Dragon Sea clan was also under attack. An iron staff flew across the sky, erupting with power like a god attacking. Many of the Dragon Sea clan's people turned into blood mist, while the Golden Crow clan's people were swallowed by the black sky devouring jar. A group of powerhouses had also fallen. Everyone's scalps went numb. These people were all laughing at Lin Xian. Could it be that Lin Xian had returned? The people of the three families were also terrified, but they soon realized that it wasn't so. The ones who attacked were Morong Chingcheng, the Crimson Dragon, and the others. These people attacked. Were they taking revenge for Lin Xian? Could it be that he had really fallen? They had some doubts before, but now they were finally sure. Lin Xian had really fallen. Otherwise, why were these friends so crazy? The people of the three families roared madly, but Morong Chingcheng and the others ignored them. They directly charged towards the 10,000 Dragon Court. A few extreme weapons shone brightly. Although they hadn't fully recovered, the extreme power they unleashed still shattered the endless sky. At this moment, the people on the buried Emperor's Star were terrified once again. This wasn't an extreme weapon. Was a battle about to break out? It was likely that this battle would shatter the mountains and rivers and plunge the people into misery and suffering. The expressions of the people of the 10,000 Dragon Court changed drastically. They directly took out the 10,000 Dragon diagram to block. They didn't take the initiative to attack. After all, they didn't have many resources left. The old ancestor of the 10,000 Dragon Court shouted angrily. Were they courting death? Being attacked by a few juniors made them lose face. Morong Chingcheng scoffed coldly. Since you dared to attack Brother Xian, I will kill you all today. The desolate tower released its power. It was as heavy as a mountain and suppressed the 10,000 Dragon Court. The surrounding space kept shattering. The people inside spat out blood crazily. The iron staff swept across the sky, sweeping through everything. The sky-devouring jar swallowed the sky and earth. The three extreme weapons exploded at the same time. Their power was incomparably terrifying. The 10,000 Dragons diagram was completely suppressed. That damned junior. The people of the 10,000 Dragon Court were furious. They really couldn't help but want to fully recover. But they still held it in. The old ancestor of the 10,000 Dragon Court said that it was time to use their allies to invite the Z Mansion and the Gu family. Those elders sent out a signal. Everyone was watching. How was the 10,000 Dragon Court going to deal with it? If they really fully recovered, no one would be able to withstand it. But from the looks of it, the 10,000 Dragon Court was at a disadvantage. An emperor race was actually suppressed by a few youngsters. How shocking! This was probably a scene that hadn't been seen in tens of thousands of years. However, at this moment, heaven and earth shattered. An ancient mirror swept in all directions, releasing the might of the extreme Tao. On the other side, a huge cauldron floated up and down. Two dragons surrounded it, releasing a terrifying aura. It was incomparably mysterious. Heavens, another two extreme-grade weapons. Everyone went crazy. Could it be that they were also here to attack the 10,000 Dragon Court? If that was the case, the 10,000 Dragon Court would definitely die. However, they realized that it wasn't the case. After these two extreme weapons appeared, they blocked the desolate tower and the heaven-devouring jar. They were actually helping the 10,000 Dragon Court. The 10,000 Dragon Court laughed out loud. They held the 10,000 Dragon diagram in their hands and soared into the air. 6 extreme weapons faced each other in the sky. Everyone felt this aura and prostrated themselves on the ground. Once again, the people of the 3 great orthodoxies also looked up. This power had already surpassed everything. The expressions of the Yi family members changed. Yi Wudao's pupils constricted. It was the Gu family. He felt the power of the Void Realm. Had the Gu family joined forces with the 10,000 Dragon Court? On the other side, the Kuan-Peng clan, Qilin clan, and Phoenix clan also exclaimed, Void Mirror, Dragon Pattern Cauldron. The Gu family and the Purple Mansion had joined forces. The Qilin son snorted coldly. The 10,000 Dragon Court was really something. He originally thought that it was about to be destroyed, but they actually secretly joined forces. Damn it. It seems that I have to find a few allies. His eyes flickered. Damn it, Goof family, what are you trying to do? The Crimson Dragon roared. Murong Ching Ching also said, Are you going to attack us? The Goof family members sneered. Lin Woody was already dead. Why would they make a big fuss over a dead person? The Purple Mansion powerhouses also laughed. That's right. Could it be that you want to start a war? If that was the case, the consequences would be unimaginable. You're tuning in to the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.